Chapter 10:14. Some of the staff noticed the cars parked in the plaza outside. There were even bodyguards' cars behind them. They were similar to Di Hao Yan's. The three of them got up and walked to the door to take a look. Then they saw the tall figure of Gu Linshin getting out of the car. "Little uncle." Luo Luoli couldn't believe it. After getting out of the car, Gu Linshin glanced at the studio and then walked towards T. Yu Lianlian raised her eyebrows at Luo Luoli. "I didn't expect young Master Gu to come personally for you." Luo Luoli blushed in embarrassment. "No wonder it takes so long to make a phone call. It turns out that he's coming to tea." Wang Malay was happy. "I can finally see Tang Bao. It's not easy to see her." Yu Lianlian shook her head and sighed. "Next time, we have to tell her in advance." As Gu Linshin approached the office, Hiju blocked his way. Gu Linshin's expression instantly changed. "What are you doing? Get out of my way. Young Master D is resting. It's not convenient to disturb him." "Not even me. Young Master D has instructed that no one can disturb him. I think that includes you," Hiju said in a neither servile nor overbearing manner. Gu Linshin's expression was gloomy and terrifying. "Try and stop him then." After saying that, he was about to rush in. Hiju went up and attacked him directly. Then, the two of them started fighting. Right at the door of T's highest authority office. One moment, they kicked the wall. The next moment, they hit the door. In any case, the fight was very intense. To be honest, Hiju had gone through all kinds of hellish training in the army. However, Gu Linshin had spent more than 10 years in the Middle East, a place that didn't seem like the human world. In comparison, Hiju definitely couldn't beat Gu Linshin. In the lounge, the two of them were entangled together and couldn't be separated. No matter how the walls shook or what sounds they made, Tang Bao couldn't tell at all. In her hearing, only the huge commotion created by Di Hao Yan covered everything. The only one who could tell was probably Di Hao Yan. However, his movements did not stop. In the end, Tang Bao's mind went blank. He screamed and fainted. Di Hao Yan kissed Tang Bao's sweaty forehead and got up to wipe her body. The warm towel gently wiped every part of her body, as if he was treating a rare treasure. He could never finish wiping her body. "Don't!" The unconscious Tang Bao's body instinctively resisted. The corners of Di Hao Yan's lips curled up into a sexy and charming smile as he planted a soft kiss on Tang Bao's lips. Tang Bao, who had fainted for a short while, slowly regained consciousness. He opened his eyes and looked at Di Hao Yan. Even though his eyes were slightly open, they seemed to be filled by Di Hao Yan's figure. She said weakly, "Don't come again, I won't." At this moment, there was a loud bang outside the door. When Tang Bao heard it, he was stunned. "What's that noise outside?" "Don't worry about it. Go to sleep. I'll go take a look." Tang Bao's eyes were still darting around. Di Hao Yan pressed his thin lips against hers. When Tang Bao saw his shadow, she quickly closed her eyes. Di Hao Yan did it on purpose. When he saw her close her eyes, his dark eyes were infinitely infatuated and doting. "Be good. Go to sleep." "Okay," Tang Bao responded. Hiju kept pestering Gu Linshin outside, and was also beaten up badly by Gu Linshin. His face was bruised, and Gu Linshin's clothes were disheveled. However, no matter how disheveled he was, it was not as disheveled as Di Hao Yan's when he opened the door of his office. He was only wearing his pajamas. The color was terrifying. Gu Linshin stopped beating him and looked at Di Hao Yan from head to toe. "You're finally willing to come out? I have something to talk to you about." Di Hao Yan's expression was cold and gloomy. He did not welcome him at all. "I know I've interrupted you, but if you weren't done, you wouldn't have come out. So, if you're not dissatisfied, you should treat your brother better." Gu Linshin ignored Di Hao Yan's cold expression. Then he stood in front of Di Hao Yan and asked, "Is Tang Bao still able to get out of bed? You're looking for her?" Di Hao Yan's expression became even colder, even with a hint of viciousness. "That's all in the past. You don't have to guard against me. I'm already married. Besides, I'm already very magnanimous that I didn't come to settle the score with you for what happened on the internet last time. Go and tell Tang Bao that Luo Luoli and the rest have been waiting for her in the office for an hour." Di Hao Yan's expression was cold as he closed the door. Gu Linshin supported himself with one hand. Don't tell me I'm going to fight with you again. You put in a lot of effort in bed just now, so I won't take advantage of you. Tang Bao was standing behind him. She had heard the first part of the conversation, so naturally, she had also heard the second part. However, she deliberately ignored it. You said that Luoli is in my office? Di Hao Ian's expression darkened. He was not angry, but his expression was stern. Who allowed you to get out of bed? Gu Linxin said with a hint of mockery. I thought you had her down, but it turns out that you can't do it. Di Hao Ian's aura was surging violently. Tang Bao quickly rebuked Gu Linxin. You're just jealous. I heard from Luoli that you couldn't satisfy her. She even said that you're amazing. You only did the same few positions back and forth. Gu Linxin's expression froze. Di Hao Ian's violent aura was finally able to suppress him. Otherwise, he would really have fought with Gu Linxin. Tang Bao looked at Gu Linxin's livid expression and turned to return to the lounge. After Di Hao Ian entered the lounge, he saw Tang Bao changing her clothes. You're not allowed to go. You knew that I would go, Tang Bao said. Di Hao Ian went forward and picked her up, pressing her back onto the bed. Should I make you lie down on the bed? Tang Bao intimately clung onto his shoulders and hugged his neck. You always deliberately let me off in the afternoon. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have the strength to open my eyes, let alone get out of bed. Di Hao Ian pinched her chin with his long and rough fingers and kissed her hard on the lips. Di Hao Ian let go of her little mouth. His dark eyes were deep and his voice was hoarse. Don't make any sound, or I won't let you go. Tang Bao instinctively pursed her lips. After putting on her men's clothes, she walked out of the tea studio. The moment she entered the studio, she saw Gu Linxin was also there. His gaze was as if he wanted to pierce her heart with 1,000 arrows. Luo Luoli hid behind Wan Malay, so Wan Malay would have to bear the brunt of Gu Linxin's arrows. When she saw Tang Bao, Wan Malay heaved a sigh of relief. She was afraid that if Tang Bao did not appear, she would be destroyed. Luo Luoli was really too much. Why didn't she hide behind Yu Lian when she pushed her out? She had really become a little cannon fodder. Most importantly, Yu Lian acted as if it had nothing to do with her and hid far away from the staff. Shouting originally wanted to ask who was causing trouble in the studio, but when faced with Gu Linxin's aura, she decided to be a coward. Come here. Gu Linxin looked at Luo Luoli. Chapter 10:15. When Tang Bao saw this, he quickly stepped forward. Gu Linxin, are you bullying her because she doesn't have any siblings? I was just spouting nonsense. Why would Lolita say that to me? Who said that? Gu Linxin looked at her coldly. Then what is it? I think it's better for Lolita to stay away from you, so that she won't be led astray by you. Was she really that bad? Tang Bao reflected on himself. When he came back to his senses, he said, Gu Linxin, the four of us happen to have something on. Why don't you teach Lolita to stay away from us when she goes back? Luo Luoli looked at Tang Bao in disbelief. You're making me look heartless. As if sensing Luo Luoli's emotions, Wan Malay turned to look at her, as if telling her to calm down. Luo Luoli wanted to as well, but it wasn't her. She wouldn't understand. Didn't it hurt to talk while standing? Gu Linxin glanced at Luo Luoli coldly and turned to leave. Seeing Gu Linxin get into the car and drive away, she heaved a sigh of relief. Yu Lian asked curiously, What did you say to young Master Gu? What did he say? That would really make people blush when they heard it. Nothing much. Well, why are you looking for me? Tang Bao changed the topic and asked, Let's go shopping and look at presents. Aren't we going to attend a banquet? We're definitely going to buy gowns. After shopping, we'll go for dinner. After dinner, we'll go home, Yu Lian said. Shopping. God, she had just suffered an unbearable blow in Di Hao Ian's lounge, and now she was going shopping right after she got out of bed, and she was even going to eat outside. She had to tell Di Hao Ian about dinner. Is there a problem? Luo Luoli asked as she came out from behind Wan Malay. No problem. I was just thinking, why didn't you tell me in advance that you were coming? Gu Linxin said that you guys waited for me for an hour? Tang Bao was surprised. Yeah, who knew you would be at tea? Yu Lian approached Tang Bao and whispered, I seem to smell the essence of a man. Tang Bao was so frightened that he immediately moved away from Yu Lian. His face was red as he waited for her. "Ah, you're so cute. I was just kidding." Tang Bao's reaction only confirmed Yu Lian's guess. The others did not hear what Yu Lian said to Tang Bao, but looking at Tang Bao's red face, it was not something good. "By the way, where's Red 7? Tang Bao asked when he realized that someone was missing. Luo Lolly said, "Red 7 said she doesn't have time, and she won't be coming because she has a gown at home." The three of them were looking at gowns in the clothing store. Yu Lian chose one, Luo Luoli chose one, and Tang Bao also chose one. Only Wan Malay stood there and did not seem to want to buy it. "Do you think it's too expensive?" Tang Bao asked. Wan Malay was not born rich and had always been thrifty, so he might not be able to accept the price of this store. "Yeah. It's too expensive." Wan Malay nodded and admitted. "It's not that expensive, right? This gown is only about 10,000 yuan. With your salary, you're already qualified to enjoy this kind of petty luxury," Yu Lian said. "How about this? I'll pay for it first, and you can pay me in installments." "This?" Wan Malay hesitated. Tang Bao looked at Wan Malay's expression and asked, "Why do I feel that you're not buying it? Because it's too expensive." "How can you tell?" Wan Malay was surprised. "Just like what you said to me before, this is the first day I met you. Tell me honestly, what's the secret?" Tang Bao asked. "Okay, I'll tell you. Did you bought me a gown?" Wan Malay asked. Yu Lian covered her head with the gown. "What a public display of affection. You can't blame me for that. I didn't know. Tang Bao must have told He Ju about it. Otherwise, why would he buy a gown?" Wan Malay defended himself. "I didn't say that. He must have heard it when I was talking to Di Hao Yin," Tang Bao said innocently. "Anyway, I didn't mention it to him," Wan Malay said. Lan Wanru walked into the clean and tidy neighborhood alone. He got into the elevator and stopped in front of a house on a certain floor. He knocked on the door, and soon the door opened. The person who opened the door was Chun Jiaodi. However, her face was wrapped in gauze, and even her eyes were covered. Her facial features couldn't be seen. However, the person standing at the door could be seen clearly. "Miss Lan," Lan Wanru nodded, went in, and closed the door. Besides Chun Jiaodi, there was also a middle-aged man and a female assistant. "Can we remove the gauze today?" Lan Wanru asked the man. "Yes," the middle-aged man said. "Then let's start." Lan Wanru sat down at the seat next to him. He watched as the middle-aged man began to remove the gauze for Chun Jiaodi. Chun Jiaodi, who was sitting on the stool, was very nervous. She was afraid that her face would be ruined and become ugly. However, Lan Wanru was even more nervous than her. She was afraid that her face wouldn't look like Tang Bao. That would be too much of a waste of her time and ruin her plan. The gauze was removed layer by layer. With each layer removed, the tension in the air deepened. When the gauze on her face was completely removed, Chun Jiaodi faced Lan Wanru. Lan Wanru was stunned when he saw that face. Chun Jiaodi looked at the stunned Lan Wanru. She was very nervous and asked cautiously, "Miss Lan, how's my face? It's not ruined, is it?" A smile appeared on Lan Wanru's face, gentle and satisfied. "Go look at yourself in the mirror," Lan Wanru said. Chun Jiaodi didn't know whether it was good or not. Lan Wanru also didn't say anything. She could only quickly find a mirror to look at her current appearance. When she got the mirror and saw her face in it, Chun Jiaodi was stunned. Was this still her face? Was she sure? If she didn't touch her face with her own hands, she wouldn't dare to believe that she could be so beautiful. It was a world of difference from before. This was simply too magical. Chun Jiaodi couldn't bear to put down the mirror and look away. She liked this face too much. Lan Wanru looked at her infatuated face and felt uncomfortable in his heart. Who knew how much she hated this face? It used to be her nightmare. Now that the person was dead, she had to face this face again for her own purposes. Chun Jiaodi still had to look stunned. Wasn't this saying that Tang Bao was beautiful? Would she feel comfortable? All right, you don't have to keep looking at yourself in the mirror, Lan Wanru reminded her. Chun Jiaodi came back to her senses and walked in front of Lan Wanru. "Miss Lan, thank you very much. I'm very satisfied with this face." You're not the only one who's satisfied. I'm also satisfied. Although it's only 60 to 70% similar to Tang Bao, it's enough. No matter how good a plastic surgeon is, it's impossible to make someone look exactly like another person. Chapter 10:16. As long as I achieve my goal, I'll definitely be grateful to you. I believe you have the ability. Who wouldn't like a pretty face? Oh yeah, I can tell you a secret. What secret? Lan Wanru looked at the middle-aged man and the female assistant. You guys can leave first. I'm very satisfied with the results of your plastic surgery. Thank you, thank you. The middle-aged man and the female assistant left. Lan Wanru continued. That Wang Zhu, you know, Director Wang, do you feel that there's something wrong between him and Ding Miao Miao? Chen Zhaodi thought for a while and said, every time I go, I only see Wang Zhu. I don't see Ding Miao Miao or anyone else. Is that the reason? Wang Zhu's surname is Wang, and Ding Miao Miao's surname is Ding. Why do they come to see Ding Miao Miao so eagerly? Don't you think it's strange? Chen Zhaodi still couldn't understand the problem. Ding Miao Miao is the niece of Wang Zhu's wife, not his. There's nothing strange about him visiting Ding Miao Miao, but his eagerness makes people feel that there's something wrong. Later on, I went to investigate and found out that Wang Zhu is actually a womanizer. You mean? Chen Zhaodi's eyes widened. Ding Miao Miao and Wang Zhu have that kind of relationship? What I want to tell you is that in that kind of industry, this kind of thing is very normal. There are all kinds of desires everywhere, and the desire between men and women is the most common. After you go in, you'll encounter it too. But Director Wang doesn't look like that kind of person. Chen Zhaodi was still in shock. Lan Wanru laughed at her naivety and then taught her, you can go to the hospital to see Wang Zhu again. Of course, you can't tell him that you're Chen Zhaodi. From today onwards, Chen Zhaodi is dead. When you appear in front of Wang Zhu again, you'll be a new person. It doesn't matter if you're Ding Miao Miao's classmates or friends. Then, Wang Zhu will be your stepping stone. Once you get him, you'll win. I heard that Song Hong's company annual meeting is coming soon. You'll be able to meet many big stars and even the higher-ups at Song Hong. This is your only chance. It's up to you whether or not you want to seize this opportunity. But can Wang Zhu take the bait? Chen Zhaodi asked. He even wants his own wife's niece. This shows that this person's character isn't that good. You can rest assured about this. Lan Wanru said with certainty. Even if Chen Zhaodi was hesitant, she had already reached this point. Was there any room for her to retreat? The bright and dazzling star was the focus of everyone's attention. It was as if thousands of spotlights had fallen on her. There was also the money that she could not earn by working hard. They were all what she wanted. So what if he had a body? In the face of vanity, it was not worth mentioning. Chen Zhaodi went to the hospital again with flowers in her hands. When she knocked on the door, she saw Wang Zhu. She deliberately chose this time to come. Then, he noticed the kindness in Wang Zhu's eyes. This was a treatment that Chen Zhaodi did not receive. Hello, I'm Mia. I'm here to see Miao Miao. Who are you to Miao Miao? She's a friend I met when I was dancing. I heard that something happened to her, so I hurried over to take a look. Chen Zhaodi said. Then come in. After entering, she placed the flowers by the bed and looked at Ding Miao Miao, who was still unconscious on the bed. She said sadly, what happened to her? I heard that she fell down the stairs. Yes, it was an accident. She's so pitiful. I hope she wakes up soon, just like before. Chen Zhaodi wiped her tears. She'll get better. You don't have to be too sad, Wang Zhu said. Chen Zhaodi straightened up. When she turned around, she gauged the distance between her and Wang Zhu. Then she tripped. Ouch! Wang Zhu hugged her immediately. Are you okay? Chen Zhaodi looked up and looked at Wang Zhu lovingly. Wang Zhu hugged her soft and delicate body. A faint fragrance wafted into her nose. It was not like the perfume that female celebrities wore. It was very alluring. Chen Zhaodi came back to her senses and straightened up immediately. Sorry, did I bump into you? It's fine. You said that you're Mia? Are you a dancer too? Wang Zhu could not help but initiate a conversation with her. Yes, I'm a dancer. Wang Zhu's gaze fell on Chen Zhaodi's body. Her body was curvy and light, and she did look like a dancer. She nodded in satisfaction. Then, She said, "Are you interested in entering the entertainment industry?" Huh? The entertainment industry? I originally wanted to let her play the female lead after she finished the physical training. The female lead needs to know how to dance, but with Meow Meow's current state, she definitely won't be able to participate. So I thought, why don't I let you take her place? If you play the role, it'll definitely be better than finding someone with no foundation. Chun Zhaodi could not hide her happiness and gratitude. Thank you so much. I used to think about becoming a famous actress in the entertainment industry, but I didn't because of my studies. I always thought that I wouldn't have a chance, but I didn't expect. Thank you so much. I also have to thank Meow Meow. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't have this chance. Leave your contact information so that I can find you more easily. Okay, Chun Zhaodi agreed. Lan Wanru was right, and so was her decision. If she hadn't changed her face, how could Wang Zhu have let her play the female lead the first time they met? How many times had she come when she had Chun Zhaodi's face? Wang Zhu had never mentioned anything about being an actress or a celebrity. It seemed that a face was a very important pass. With this face, she could have everything. Chun Zhaodi liked this face more and more. She had to take good care of this face to serve this face. Song Hong's annual gala, needless to say, would definitely be filled with dazzling stars. Big stars, famous directors, and people with more or less other identities. The date was specially set to be the weekend. Tang Bao stood in the fitting room and had just taken off her pajamas. Yes, that's right, it was almost 3 o'clock, and Tang Bao had just taken off her pajamas. It was obvious that he had just gotten out of bed not long ago. As for why it hadn't been long, you had to ask the main culprit, Di Haoyan. It was written clearly in the agreement that she could rest on the weekend. 2 days. And Di Haoyan knew that he couldn't do it for 2 days, so he might as well go crazy on Friday night. For Tang Bao, it was like Black Friday. It was a deadly day. She always felt that the moment her mind went blank was the moment of her death. When Di Haoyan did it with her, Tang Bao would have the illusion that the thing on top of her wasn't human. Instead, it was an extremely dangerous ancient beast that came from the depths of the forest. After taking off her pajamas, her originally white and flawless skin was covered with red marks. Tang Bao's trypophobia was about to act up. Chapter 10:17. Fortunately, the clothes she was going to return were suits and leather shoes, so she could wrap herself up tightly. If she were to wear a gown, she would definitely not be able to wrap herself up. As soon as she took off her pajamas, Di Haoyan entered the walk-in closet. He was so punctual that Tang Bao wondered if he had calculated the time to come. Wrapped up from behind, Tang Bao fell into his strong and broad chest. He asked in an abnormally low and hoarse voice, "What are you looking at? What do you think I'm looking at?" Tang Bao's face was red from the smoke. "Don't you know what you're doing? If others see this, they'll think that I'm suffering from domestic violence." Di Haoyan blew into her ear, and Tang Bao's body went limp. If she was not being hugged, she would have fallen. She felt the skin on her neck burning, and her whole body was trembling with fear. If she could not control her body, Di Haoyan would... She had just woken up. "Di Haoyan, you let go of me. I'm going to put on my clothes," Tang Bao said with her eyes lowered. Her fair face was red, and she did not dare to look at herself in the mirror. The image of being naked in Di Haoyan's arms was too. "I want to continue looking at the traces of domestic violence." You dare?" Tang Bao was really afraid that Di Haoyan would do it again. She said nervously, "I have to get ready for the banquet. If he does it again, can I still go?" She had rested for so long before getting out of bed. Wasn't it because she didn't want to look weak at the banquet? Even if Di Haoyan only did it once, it would not end so quickly. Di Haoyan chuckled, took the clothes next to him, and helped her put them on. Tang Bao was so stunned that she forgot to raise her hand. Di Haoyan stuffed her hand into her sleeve. Was he helping her put on her clothes? Tang Bao heaved a sigh of relief. She felt really insecure without clothes on. After putting on a shirt, Tang Bao tried to button it up, but Di Haoyan beat him to it. He helped her buckle them one by one. The tall figure stood in front of her, his shadow shrouding her body. Tang Bao could feel the strong pressure coming from Di Haoyan. He lowered his eyes slightly and did not dare to look at Di Hao Yin. When she was in her teens, she had seen her mother put on a tie for her father. She was so focused and affectionate. Even now, Tang Bao could not forget that scene. Later on, when he grew up, he understood that the love between husband and wife was rare and precious. It wasn't the kind of service where men were superior to women, but love. If men were superior to women, what was Di Hao Yin doing now? Tang Bao, who had been looking down, suddenly wanted to see the expression on Di Hao Yin's face at this moment. Was he also as focused and affectionate? Tang Bao suppressed her nervousness and looked up. Her clear eyes suddenly trembled slightly. His handsome and cold facial features were perfectly chiseled. His long eyelashes could only be seen from his dark eyes. It was as if he only had eyes for the buttons in his hands and was obsessed with them. No, he was not only obsessed with the row of buttons, but also with her. This kind of obsessed look was really too sexy. Tang Bao's heart was beating wildly. She tiptoed and kissed Di Hao Yin's thin lips gently. She wrapped her arms around Di Hao Yin's neck and buried her face in his chest as if she was unwilling to let go. She seemed to be quite embarrassed. She kissed him out of the blue. Do you not want to go to the banquet? Di Hao Yin's low and hoarse voice sounded, with a hint of a beast's danger. I'll help you put on a tie every morning from now on. Tang Bao's face was red, and she did not dare to look up. Otherwise, he would see her shyness. When she said this sentence, she was already very shy. Okay. Di Hao Yin hugged her even tighter, as if he wanted to rub her into his body. But you can't make me unable to get out of bed. Only then can I help you put on a tie. Then forget it. Di Hao Yin rejected her flatly. Tang Bao was speechless. He wanted her to be unable to get out of bed. Di Hao Yin insisted on sending her personally. Along the way in the car, Tang Bao resisted Di Hao Yin's touch and was almost desperate. In the end, her clothes were a little messy because of him. Fortunately, Di Hao Yin had a conscience and helped her tidy up her clothes when he got out of the car. Only then did he get out of the car. After getting out of the car, Tang Bao walked toward the banquet. After entering, she saw Yu Lianlian and the others chatting together. Just as Tang Bao was about to walk over, Tsang Hong came over to greet her. CEO Tang, you're finally here. I was just asking your artistes when you would arrive. I thought you weren't coming and was about to call you. You're really late. Haha, I'm sorry, CEO Zhao. Something happened, and I was delayed. CEO Zhao took the wine beside him. Come, let's have a drink first. Okay. Tang Bao was also straightforward and drank a glass with Zhao Shijin. In the distance, Yu Lianlian and the others all looked at Tang Bao. I really couldn't tell, Yu Lianlian said. Cheng Ju asked, couldn't tell what? Meng Shi also did not understand what she meant, because they did not know that Tang Bao's real identity was a woman. Living like this, she was almost no different from man. She dared to accept anything. She was not pretentious at all. I couldn't tell that her drinking posture is so handsome, Yu Lianlian said as she stared at Tang Bao without blinking. Cheng Ju and Meng, she did not refute this reason. If she did not have this courage, she would not be so influential in the entertainment industry. It was obvious that they were right to follow Tang Bao back then. At that time, Tango was just a gigolo with no background in the entertainment industry. They did not know that he would become more and more influential now. This was all because of Tang Ji's smart mind. Meng Shi could not help but feel that she had a good eye for choosing an agent. How much do you think she can drink? Wang Malay asked. Well, it's hard to say. Yu Lianlian was not too sure. What do you mean? Luo Luoli asked. Anyway, it's quite difficult. But I think she knows that she can't hold her liquor well and knows her limits. Yu Lianlian was even more uncertain. I don't think she knows her limits. I've known her for so many years. Once she starts bragging, I can't stop her. Wang Malay rolled his eyes indecently. Luo Luoli laughed at the side. What she gets drunk? How's her alcohol tolerance? Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's bad. It all depends on luck. Wang Malay shook his head and sighed. Those who don't know would think that she and Zhao Shijin hit it off. Yu Lianlian could not help but admire Tang Bao's social skills. In the past, when Tang Bao was in Kuchun, He was a hopeless ado. It seemed that it was not that she was incapable, but that she was unwilling. Hit it off? I think it's more like head square. Juan Malay was amused. The people around them laughed. Chapter 1018. Luo Luali said, "We're talking about your alcohol tolerance." "My alcohol tolerance is definitely better than Juan Malay's," Tang Bao said with certainty. "You don't have to put yourself down and belittle me, do you?" "No, I'm just telling the truth." Tang Bao looked away as if he was looking for someone. Then he saw Zhou Jisen standing by the champagne tower. He was talking to someone as if this was a business banquet. Tang Bao realized that Zhou Jisen would be there whenever Yu Lian was at an event. "Who are you looking for?" Juan Malay asked. "Is Seven not here?" Tang Bao asked. "I called her earlier, and she said she would be here soon." Luo Luoli looked away. Indeed, she did not see anyone walking in. Of course, they did not see Seven, because Uncle Seven was stopped at the entrance and was not allowed to enter. "What's wrong with you guys? Don't you recognize this invitation card? You've wasted 10 minutes of my time. Can you afford to compensate me if I'm late?" Seven was panting as she explained. She was exhausted from explaining to them, but they still did not let her in. How could she not be angry? "I'm sorry, the invitation card is real, but you..." The two security guards who were checking the invitation card looked at Seven up and down. Seven looked down at herself. Flats, ripped jeans, and a white t-shirt with slanted shoulders. Then she looked up and asked, "What's the problem?" "You have to wear formal attire to enter this place," the security guard said. "Your invitation card is real, but how do we know if you're picked up? So, we can't let you in." Seven could not be bothered to talk nonsense with them. This was already her normal attire. It was already good enough that she did not come in a beggar's attire. Why were they grumbling about? So, she rushed in directly. However, the security guards directly pulled her out. Their actions were a little rough, and Seven was almost pushed down by them. She was so angry that she wanted to throw a tantrum, but she could only hold it in. If she had not lost her phone, she would have called Tang Bao and the rest. What should she do? A black luxury car passed by the VIP aisle not far away. The car windows were thick and black, so he couldn't see inside. However, the car stopped slightly and the window of the back seat lowered slightly. The security guard's expression tightened. He hurried over and stood beside the car door. He bent down slightly as if he was listening to what the people inside were saying. Red 7 could only see the security guard bending down to block the faces of the people in the car. She could only see the ears. Which celebrity was this? Quite the style. After the security guard stepped back, the car window was closed and the car drove in. Then, the security guard walked over to Red 7. "You can go in now." Don't you suspect that the invitation card was picked up?" Red 7 asked on purpose. She suspected that whether she could go in or not might have something to do with the person in the car. "It's President Chin's order. You can go in now," the security guard said. "The one in the car, just now?" Red 7 asked. "Yes." "Who is he?" Seventh Red was curious. "Song Hong CEO." Red 7 thought that she did not know the CEO of Song Hong, but she was allowed to pass. Sure enough, being a CEO was different. Magnanimous. Unlike this little security guard, who kept talking but still refused to let her in. Red 7 found Tang Bao and his group. "I finally found you," Luo Luoli said. "Was it so difficult to find us?" "No. Why are you dressed like this? How did you manage to get in?" "That's why I was stopped outside by the security guard. I only managed to get in now." Red 7 was angry just thinking about it. "That's my mistake. I didn't tell you that you had to wear a dress. I just didn't expect you to dress so casually." "A dress is good too," Tang Bao said. "Didn't I say that I like to dress as a man in the past? I'm used to being a man, so I don't have a dress at home. But I think my outfit is quite good. At least it's women's clothing," Red 7 said as she gestured at her outfit. Tang Bao nodded. "As long as you're happy. But how did you get in the end?" "It should be Song Hong, CEO. When the car passed by, he asked the security guard to let me in," Red 7 said. Tang Bao asked, "Are you sure it's Song Hong, CEO?" "That's what the security guard said. I don't know either." Tang Bao thought that Song Hong was very domineering in the entertainment industry. They were not easy to talk to, and were too unscrupulous. But he had to admit that Song Hong was very capable. Otherwise, they would not be at the top of the entertainment industry. If it was true, that meant that Song Hong CEO would also be attending today's cocktail party. After talking to Zhao Shijin for so long, he did not hear a mention that Song Hong CEO would be attending. He probably did not know either. Wow, there's so many celebrities here. There's so many celebrities that I know. Red 7 nodded proudly. So they're all from the same company. Celebrities that you know? Wang Malay asked curiously. I know them from TV, Red 7 said. Tang Bao thought of something and pulled Red 7 aside. Let me tell you something. What? Don't let anyone else know that I'm cross-dressing. My artists don't know about it. Tang Bao felt that it was better for him to always be a man in their eyes. Red 7 glanced at Cheng Ju and Meng Shi. She knew that the people in the entertainment industry definitely did not know that Tang Bao was actually a woman. So she promised, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. Tang Bao smiled. At this moment, there was a commotion at the door. Director Wang Zhu's arrival was eye-catching. The woman who was holding Wang Zhu's arm was the most eye-catching. Her beautiful face made no one notice the gown that she had carefully chosen. When Tang Bao looked over, he was instantly stunned. Those who had seen Tang Bao in female clothes also looked at him in disbelief. Then, they looked at Tang Bao's face in male clothes. Especially Meng Shi. Was this his first love? His first love had appeared? Tang Bao, why does this person look so much like you? Red 7 asked in a low voice. Tang Bao could only say, there are all kinds of strange things in the world. It's not strange that there are people who look alike. It's 60 to 70% similar. If you're not careful, you can recognize the wrong person, Red 7 said. Wang Malay, Yu Lianlian, Luo Loli all squeezed up and leaned against Tang Bao. They looked at the Mia, who came in and greeted the other celebrities. Tang Bao, could this person be Xiao Rui? Wang Malay said uncertainly. I don't think so. Xiao Rui isn't as tall as her. Tang Bao was certain. The feeling that this person gave her was completely different from Xiao Rui's. Moreover, Xiao Rui's face was disfigured. Unless she changed her head, how could she recover to this state? Then there are too many people in this world who look like you, right? You don't have a common face either. Logically speaking, I have a common face. Why hasn't anyone looked like me? Wang Malay looked at the face that resembled Tang Bao and felt uncomfortable no matter how she looked at it. I told Red 7 just now. It's not strange that there are people who look like you, Tang Bao said. Chapter 1019. Therefore, it was hard to say. Mia had already let go of Wang Zhu's arm and was shaking hands with Zhao Shijin. She seemed to know how to socialize. Is this a newcomer to our company? Why haven't I seen her before? Some of the female celebrities at the banquet asked. I haven't seen her before either, but she seems to have a good relationship with Director Wang. Could it be that she's trying to groom a newcomer? She doesn't seem to be a good person. A newcomer is already so close to Director Wang. How could she be a good person? Looks like there will be someone competing with us in the company in the future. Director Wang must be interested in her face. If she only has a face and no acting skills, what's the use? You don't know this. Sometimes, a face is more important than acting skills. Your acting skills are not bad. Why aren't you famous yet? You. Female celebrities were like sisters under the spotlight, but secretly they were fighting to be first. This was normal. They were just trying to survive. With such a newcomer suddenly coming in, everyone was worried that their resources would be stolen. Wang Zhu was a director with a certain status in Song Hong. He had a certain amount of power in selecting actors. To enter Song Hong, it was necessary to start with Wang Zhu. After a while, Wang Zhu and Mia walked over to Tang Bao. Mr. Tang, nice to meet you. Wang Zhu shook hands with Tang Bao and then introduced her to Tang Bao. This is Mia. She's an important character in my next movie. He even kept her in suspense. She didn't know what important role it was. Hello, Mr. Tang. Mia took the initiative to shake hands with Tang Bao. Tang Bao reached out and felt that Mia's voice seemed familiar. She couldn't help but look at Mia's face for a while. Hello, you're so beautiful. I believe in Director Wang's taste. You must have some good points to make Director Wang admire you so much. Tang Bao said with a smile. I will not let Director Wong and any other leaders down. Mia smiled. Tang Bao also smiled politely. In the bathroom, Mia was touching up her makeup. Your face is very similar to a friend of mine. Mia, who was touching up her makeup, was stunned. When she saw Tang Bao leaning against the wall in the mirror, an elegant smile appeared on her face. Is that so? It's my pleasure. Chun Zhaodi, you've really impressed me, Tang Bao said unhurriedly, but his gaze was sharp as he looked at her. Mia's eyes flashed, but she quickly covered it up. What did you say? I don't understand. Your face can be fixed, but your voice can't be fixed. What I want to know is, who did you get plastic surgery for? Let me think. She should be the wife of the king of King City, right? Tang Bao asked. Mia didn't expect to be exposed so easily, so there was nothing to hide. She wasn't worried about this in the first place. Mr. Tang, I think my plastic surgery shouldn't have any conflict with your interests, right? There's so many celebrities who have undergone plastic surgery. I'm not the only one. Moreover, even if you tell others, it's useless if I don't admit it. Since I dare to undergo plastic surgery, I definitely won't be caught red-handed, Mia said confidently. I just want to know, where did you get the photo? Tang Bao was concerned about this. He was concerned about Chun Zhaodi's intentions. I know why the king of King City wants a man like you. So, I did plastic surgery according to your face. Why would I need a photo? I don't need it. Your photo is enough, Mia said proudly. Then she said, Mr. Tang, don't worry. I did plastic surgery just to become a celebrity. I'm not interested in anything else. If you're really aggressive, don't blame me for seducing the king of King City. Of course, if the king of King City sees my face and abandons you, don't blame me. You're really confident. Tang Bao looked at her proud face and said, As you can see, my beauty is enough to make other men drool. You slept with Wang Zhu, Tang Bao said affirmatively. So what? Isn't this normal in the entertainment industry? You've been in the entertainment industry for so long, it's impossible that you don't know. So, I'm just following the trend. To be able to completely do plastic surgery on her face, it was obvious how determined Chun Zhaodi was to enter the entertainment industry. If she hadn't heard Chun Zhaodi's voice, she wouldn't have thought of this face. You'd better not do anything bad that has to do with me. Otherwise, you should know that if you can enter the entertainment industry, I can also kick you out of it. Tang Bao was not polite with her. She felt uncomfortable with such a person appearing in front of her, and with such a strong motive. Aren't you just relying on the king of King City? Mia looked down on others, but in fact, she was jealous. I don't need him to deal with you. I can make you into nothing. Mia glared at Tang Bao. Tang Bao didn't say anything else and turned to leave. Tang Bao returned to the banquet. Luo Luoli asked, Where did you go for so long? The washroom. The moment she came out, Mia followed. The moment she entered the banquet, she greeted and chatted with the big stars, and even made eyes at leader Songhong. Tang Bao watched silently. Chun Zhaodi was really someone who made a living in this industry. She was so good at socializing. Tang Bao, did this person have plastic surgery? Tang Bao smiled. You can tell. How can there be such a coincidence? My first thought was that she had plastic surgery, Luo Luoli said. Tang Bao looked around and asked Cheng Ju, Where's Meng Shi? Cheng Ju frowned slightly. He should have gone to look for his first love. First love? Then it should be Chun Zhaodi. Tang Bao looked again and realized that Chun Zhaodi was no longer around. At the entrance of the elevator, Mia looked at Meng Shi. In the past, a big star like Meng, she was just out of her reach. Now, the two of them were actually so close that they could touch each other just by reaching out. It really made her happy. Hello, Meng Shi. I didn't expect to see you so close. I'm so lucky. Meng Shi looked at her with a reminiscing and scrutinizing gaze. Do you remember me? What? Mia didn't know what he meant. Of course I remember you. I used to see you on TV often. You really can't be her. Meng Shi's words were filled with disappointment. Who is it? Mia felt that she must have mistaken her for someone else. But who was that person? Since it's not her, why should I say so much to you? Your face was plastic surgery, but I didn't expect you to look like her. However, No matter how much you look like her, your eyes don't. Your eyes look mean. After Meng Shi finished speaking, he turned and left. You. Mia looked at the person who walked away and was furious. Chapter 10:20. When empty joy. Sure enough, the people around Tang Ge were not likable. Tang Bao saw Meng Shi walking over with a gloomy expression and could not help but laugh. What's wrong? Are you unhappy? Or were you rejected by your first love? What first love? She's not worthy. Meng Shi looked disgusted. You didn't go to look for your first love? Tang Bao knew that something bad was going to happen when he saw his expression. It's just that they look alike. She's not mine at all. Her eyes and demeanor are completely different from someone else's. This feeling is very strange. It's like an ugly soul wearing a beautiful skin. Meng Shi's sarcasm was as though he had undergone professional training. Tang Bao did not look for Meng Shi because she believed in Meng Shi's judgment. He was sharp and shrewd. However, she was very surprised that he came back so quickly. She thought that it would take a while for him to see through the fake appearance. After all, she and Meng Shi had only met once at that time. How could he remember her so carefully and deeply? Otherwise, how could he see through the fake Chun Zhaodi so easily? Wang Malay came up to him curiously. Superstar Meng Shi, you said that your first love looked like Mia? Is that true? What do I need you to do? Tang Bao pushed her away. Why can't I be nosy? Tang Bao, tell me honestly, did you provoke some peach blossom dead outside again? Wang Milai asked in a low voice. What trouble? Don't talk nonsense. Meng Shi stared at Mia's face and went to talk to someone. When he came back, he said this. If this isn't related to you, then what is? If you don't tell me, I'll ask Cheng Ju. She seems to know. Tang Bao pulled her back. Can you stop for a moment? Then tell me. I won't tell anyone. Tang Bao was defeated by her and could only tell her about how he had run into Meng Shi when he escaped from Di Haoyan with his child. Wang Malay was stunned when she heard this. Then she commented, Meng Shi is too pitiful. How is he pitiful? Isn't this pitiful? He fell in love with a woman who could never be his woman. That's why I can't let him know that I'm a woman. Tang Bao thought that if Meng Shi kept pretending to be a man, she would forget about her first love. But now, Meng Shi was not repulsed by her first love. She even acted like she was abandoned and wanted to be loved. She was also very helpless. Okay? What are you two talking about me behind my back? Meng Shi sensed the abnormal expressions of these two people and judged that they must be talking about him. Then, as he spoke, he naturally put his hand on Tang Bao's shoulder, as if they were brothers. It's nothing. You guys go ahead. I have something to do, so I'll leave first. Wang Malay acted as an outsider at this crucial moment. Tang Bao stared at her. What kind of friend was this? Whenever there was gossip, she would come over. If something happened, she would run away. What did he say about me? Meng Shi tightened his grip on Tang Bao's shoulder and asked. Tang Bao took his hand away. What can I say about you? Malay asked me if you fell in love with Miss Mia. I'm not blind. Why would I fall in love with her? Tang Bao's gaze narrowed slightly. Then let me ask you, if the person who appeared today was really your first love, would you choose her? This question stumped Meng Shi. He would not choose Mia. After all, she was not his real first love. He could not choose. After a moment, he said to Tang Bao aggrievedly, Can you give me some time? No matter what I choose in the future, you will agree, right? Tang Bao heard the trap in his words. This is your decision. It has nothing to do with me. But from my perspective as an outsider, what is it? Meng Shi asked nervously. Give up your first love and be with me. Impossible, Meng Shi said without thinking. Tang Bao felt a headache coming on. He was really stubborn. However, no matter how stubborn Meng Shi was, she would not accept or even be touched by his stubbornness. She would only give her body and mind to Di Haoyan. She could not give it to anyone else. She did not have the heart and was powerless. Red 7 seemed to have come to the banquet to eat and drink. She was not interested in interacting with anyone at all. Luo Luoli could tell. You can really eat. Aren't these all for humans to eat? It's too wasteful to leave them here, so I have to eat more, Red 7 said as she ate, fully displaying her beggar nature. Then I'll eat some too. Luo Luoli ate beside her. Red 7 even told her which food was more delicious. She completely ignored the security guards who kept looking at her from the door. They were the security guards who stopped her from entering. Don't you think this is strange? Why did President Qin let such a person in? I think President Qin will definitely regret his decision if he sees this scene. Stop talking. If he hears you, do you still want this job? The other security guards had no choice but to shut up. What they said was the truth. President Qin had already let her in. How could they have the right to criticize? Even if this person finished all the delicacies in the banquet, they had no right to interrupt. Aya, I can't take it anymore. I have to go to the toilet before I eat, Red 7 said as she wiped her mouth. Luo Luoli. Red 7 left the banquet hall alone and went to the toilet. However, when she turned the corner, she bumped into someone. Red 7 frowned but did not apologize. Because she could not see around the corner, she bumped into someone and someone bumped into her. Both of them were at fault. They were even. There was no need to apologize. Red 7 instinctively looked at the other party. He was very young, in his 20s. He was handsome and upright. He was wearing a black suit made of high-quality material. He had long legs and was very tall. Red 7 was about 1.7 meters tall, but this man was much taller than her. Sorry, I didn't hurt you, did I? The man narrowed his eyes and said in a clear and pleasant voice. No. Red 7 continued to go to the bathroom after saying that. However, she had just taken a few steps when she suddenly thought of something. She turned around abruptly and looked at the man with his back facing her. She shouted, "Wait!" The figure in front paused slightly and then turned around. It was still that handsome and upright face. What's the matter? Compared to him, Red 7 was not so elegant. She went forward and grabbed the man's tie. So it's you. The assistant beside the man was about to go forward, but the man raised his hand to stop him. I don't know what you're talking about, the man said calmly. Even if his tie was being grabbed, he still looked so elegant and cultured. It was as if the person who was being strangled was not him. Chapter 10:21. She dragged the man to the men's washroom. Why was it the men's washroom and not the women's washroom? She was used to going to the men's washroom when she was studying. Even though she was dressed as a woman now, she would still run to the men's washroom subconsciously. Once, she went to the men's washroom directly. When she went in, the man who was peeing at the urinal was scared out of his wits when he saw a female beggar walk in. He thought it was a female pervert. After entering the men's washroom, Red 7 pressed the man down on the toilet and stared at him fiercely. The man smiled faintly and asked, "Do you know me? I would know you even if you turned into ashes." Red 7 was filled with anger the moment she spoke. She pulled the tie in her hand. "Tell me, why did you force yourself on me? This is a misunderstanding." The man continued to smile. Misunderstanding? The first time, you drank. The second time, you didn't drink. The first time was a misunderstanding. The second time was also a misunderstanding. Do you think I'm a 3-year-old child? She forced herself on a strange man for no reason. Anyone would think that she was forcing herself on him. At that time, she struggled hard, but this person was so strong that she couldn't break free no matter how hard she tried. In the end, she was eaten up. To Red 7, this was simply a strange story. I'm sorry. The first time, I felt a little comfortable. The second time, I missed that feeling, so I went again. The man's tone was still calm, as though he was saying that the dish he ate yesterday tasted good. It was normal to eat it again today. But Red 7 was almost stunned by his words. Sorry? Comfortable? When again? She thought that the man would continue to deny it until Red 7 suspected that she was seeing things. But he admitted it directly, and he said it so logically. For the first time, Red 7 understood what it meant to be a refined scum. Chinamo pulled his tie back gently. Because Red 7 was too shocked, she didn't have the strength to pull it back. Even the way he pulled the tie was very elegant. Is there a problem? Red 7 came back to her senses. You still dare to ask me? If I force myself on you, do you think there's no problem? If you force yourself on me, I think there's no problem. Red 7 almost vomited blood. This person was really, F asterisk CK. She had never seen him before. Are you going to report me? How can I report it? Saying that a beggar was raped by a handsome man? Who would believe that? Thank you for the compliment. Red Seven's blood had already reached his throat. He even thanked her. Had her saying that he was stylish turned into a compliment? She just wanted to express that this was a cruel reality. But I don't think it's a big deal, Chinamo said, changing his tone. Seventh Red wanted to hear what else he had to say. Love between a man and a woman is a right that every adult has. Although you're a beggar, you should still have this instinct. When I passed by you, I thought that a person like you was really too pitiful. Why don't I give you some enjoyment? Perhaps then your life wouldn't be so terrible. That's why I treated you that way. I feel like I've added some color to your gloomy life. Red Seven's fists were clenched tightly. She seemed to be trying her best to control herself. Otherwise, her fists would fly towards that handsome and elegant face. However, Chinamo didn't seem to see her anger. He continued to ask. Moreover, he lifted his black eyes and looked directly into Red Seven's eyes that were filled with anger. I thought that since you rejected me the first time, you wouldn't reject me the second time. That's why I was thinking about when I would ask you for a third time. She couldn't tolerate it anymore. There was no need to tolerate it anymore. Red Seven swung her fist directly. However, when it was a few millimeters away from his face, she stopped. It wasn't that she wanted to stop. Instead, someone grabbed her wrist. Her slender wrist was tightly held in his hand. She was stunned. Why are you so rough? Chin-Mo said with a frown. Then he smiled. But I like it. UF asterisk king, pervert. Red Seven had just finished speaking when she was pulled forward. Her face was only a few millimeters away from Chin-Mo's face. Red Seven's breathing stopped. Her face heated up and her brain stopped working. She almost kissed this pervert's mouth. She remembered that during the 2 times he had raped her, this pervert had kissed her without hesitation. You really don't remember me? Chin-Mo asked with deep shock in his eyes. His hot breath blew over. Red Seven came back to her senses. Her heart was beating unsteadily. She retreated a distance away. If I didn't forget you, would I have come to find you? I'm referring to when we were in university. What? Red Seven was slightly stunned. We knew each other in university? Yes. No, I don't think so. When I was in university, I don't think I knew people like you. Red Seven recalled the group of people in university and compared them with the man in front of her. None of them matched. So, you didn't feel wronged at all when I raped you, Chin-Mo said. Red Seven looked carefully at the face of the person in front of her. She was really racking her brains, but she still couldn't figure it out. She felt that she must have offended this person in university. Then, this person took revenge on her. But who did she offend? Can you give me a hint? You kissed me forcefully. Are you kidding me? Red Seven's expression was about to become distorted. So this person was prepared to force a kiss back, or even take her body directly with interest. Just as she was thinking about it, a scene flashed through her mind. She'd seen to have kissed a boy. At that time, she bumped into her boyfriend, who was also a university student from the same university. It was her fiancé and her best friend kissing. The university student fiancé explained to her that he had liked her best friend for a long time. At that time, only her fiancé knew that she was a girl, but he treated her that way. Red Seven remembered that she was very angry at that time. She was so angry that she laughed. Then, she said nonchalantly that she came over to break up with him because she had betrayed him long ago and liked someone else. Then, she kissed a boy who was passing by in front of her fiancé. But although that boy was tall, he was slightly chubby. Moreover, in that situation, how could she remember the appearance of a boy who she randomly pulled over and kissed? Red Seven looked at Chin-Mo in disbelief. You? Don't tell me that you are that chubby boy. It's me. Chapter 10:22. Look carefully, I'm wearing contact lenses. Red Seven couldn't accept all the changes. The person in front of her didn't look like the fat boy from back then. Were all the fat people in the world potential stocks? Red Seven had some impression. Although the boy she kissed was slightly chubby, he was very cute. His skin was very white, and his face was very red after she kissed him. I was a boy back then. Red 7 didn't deny that she was a girl dressed as a boy. She just couldn't understand how she made him blush back then. I know you're a girl. How do you know? No one knows. Except for her damned fiancé, Yao Bin. I accidentally saw you changing clothes in the changing room of the swimming pool. You had a slender figure with graceful lines. I saw all the physical characteristics of a girl. Qin and Mo would never forget that scene. He was deeply attracted, and his soul left his body. Also, when I slept at night, I had a wet dream. F***CK. Red 7 was so embarrassed and angry that she wanted to curse. He even peeked at her body, and F***CK. The truth of the matter made her forget to retract her hands that were on Qin Mo's shoulders. They were mainly trembling. Something like this actually happened in her university life, and she was completely unaware of it. She only found out when someone came to her door. After being stunned for a few seconds, Red 7 retracted her hands and stood by the door with a slight distance. I think it was a misunderstanding that I forced a kiss on you. Who hasn't been young and frivolous? Let's just turn the page and pretend that nothing happened. Red 7 didn't want to ask how he knew she was the girl from back then. If she really wanted to find out, it wasn't like there was no trace. As for being raped, she couldn't find anyone to settle the score. If she really wanted to find out, people would say that it was caused by him forcing a kiss on her. Wasn't she speechless in an instant? Forget it. She would just pretend that she was bitten by a dog. Qin and Mo stood up and adjusted his tie. His body was tall, and the entire isolation room was covered in shadows. Red 7 was also under the shadow. She could feel the oppressive aura coming from this man. Nothing happened? Maybe not. Why not? You won't keep forcing yourself on me like this, right? When Red 7 heard him say that, she looked as if she had seen a ghost and said, But do you have some special fetish for beggars? Qin and Mo leaned closer to Red 7. Red 7's entire back was pressed against the door. Her body was pulled straight, and she didn't dare to breathe. You still don't know my name. Who wants to know your name? Remember, my name is Qin and Mo. I'm waiting for you to force a kiss on me again. After Qin and Mo finished speaking, his smile became even more elegant. Then he left the cubicle. Once the pressure dissipated, 7th Red heaved a sigh of relief, and his body went limp. Why did she have to provoke such a person? Or could it be that this person's desire for revenge was too strong? She came to settle scores with her now when they were in university? He even said that he was waiting for her to kiss him forcefully. Was he addicted to being forcefully kissed? This man must be dreaming. Back then, she had no choice but to kiss him. There would never be a second time. However, when Red 7 thought of the things that happened in university that she didn't know about, she just forcefully kissed him once, and her body was seen naked. At night, when she slept, Red 7 wanted to bang her head against the wall. She roared in her heart again. The scum of the refined scum. Red 7 suppressed the collapse in her heart. When she walked out of the cubicle, her footsteps froze. There were many men in the men's washroom. Were they here to use the washroom? Or Red 7 thought that the cubicle wasn't soundproof. She was so regretful that she wanted to kill someone. She opened the door and left the men's washroom. Everything was heard by that group of people. At that time, she finally caught the man who raped her and dragged him into the cubicle. She thought that others wouldn't know. She was really deceiving herself. She couldn't be blamed, right? She was so angry at that time. Anger could easily make one's IQ drop. When Red 7 returned to the banquet hall, she saw Qin and Mo, who was in the men's washroom just now, talking to someone else. His movements were filled with the confidence of a successful businessman. There was a handsome and appropriate smile on his face. He was refined and cultured. He looked like a gentleman with profound self-restraint. It was as if what happened in the men's washroom just now had nothing to do with him. It really made her angry. But who was this Qin and Mo? Even Zhao Shijin looked like he was trying to please him, not to mention the others. Even the female celebrities wanted to get close to him. Red 7 walked towards Tang Bao and asked them, "Who is that person?" Tang Bao followed Red 7's gaze and said, "This is the CEO of Songhong." "What? The CEO of Songhong?" Red 7 looked at Tang Bao in shock. Luo Luoli found it strange. Why are you so surprised? Do you know him? No, I don't know him. It's just strange that the CEO of Songhong is so young. I thought he was an old man with a beer belly, Red 7 said. What kind of strange thought is that? Luo Luoli asked. It's not strange. At first, I thought that the CEO of Songhong was a middle-aged man. He looks like he's in his 20s. Tang Bao laughed. How could Red 7 not be surprised? The CEO of Songhong raped a beggar? Who would believe it? Red 7 didn't believe it herself. Really, if this person hadn't admitted it directly in the toilet, she would have thought that she had terminal paranoia. How many female celebrities were there in Songhong? Those who could be celebrities, no matter if it was their face or figure, there was nothing to criticize, right? Qin Mo actually looked for her? What kind of taste was that? Or was it that Qin Mo was tired of eating female celebrities and now wanted to taste a beggar? It seems that the CEO of Songhong is very charming and cultured. Look at those female celebrities. Their eyeballs are about to fall out, Yu Lianlian said after observing. Handsome guys are more popular, Wang Malay said. Red 7 watched as Qin Mo accepted every female celebrity's toast, taking a sip of his wine elegantly. He didn't reject anyone at all. Refined scum, Red 7 said in disdain. Luo Luoli looked at Red 7, who was scolding him, and asked curiously, Do you know him? How could I know the CEO of Songhong? You must be joking. Red 7 felt that everyone would believe her. Hence, after she said that, no one refuted her. In fact, there was even a hint of suspicion. Tang Bao leaned towards Red 7 and said, I think that your taste is very unique, but I agree with what you said. Red 7 looked at Tang Bao with a painful gaze. You're absolutely right. Chapter 1023. Tang Bao continued, but I have to say, he's also a powerful character. Otherwise, Songhong wouldn't be where he is now. Back then, when she chose Songhong, she felt that he was a unique existence. If she followed the rules, she wouldn't want to go. Red 7 hadn't heard about the deeds of Songhong film and television, but after hearing her friend's words, she felt that Qin Mo was even more perverted in her heart. I can't tell. He's cultured and has inner qualities, Luo Luoli said. Didn't I just say that he's a refined scum? Of course you can't tell. I've seen more people than the salt you've eaten. Red 7's last analogy stunned Luo Luoli, who was the scriptwriter. How could she make such an analogy? Stop talking. Someone's coming. Tang Bao made a sound, and it was the kind that only sound could be heard. His lips couldn't be seen moving. Then they saw Qin Mo walking towards them. Red 7's nerves were more tense than anyone else's. What was this person doing here? Was he going to talk to her? Red 7 didn't want to talk to this person. Once she did, she wanted to strangle him. Every word that came out of his mouth was intelligible. Zhao Shijin introduced, CEO, this is CEO Tang from Ibao Studio, Tanggo. CEO Tang, this is Songhong CEO, CEO Qin. Hello, CEO Qin. I've heard of your name for a long time. You really live up to your reputation. Tang Bao reached out his hand. Qin Mo was as refined as a top student who had just graduated from a university. He reached out his hand. Hello, CEO Tang. I've heard rumors about Manager Tang. You're a rare manager. When I saw you, I actually had the urge to poach you. Tang Bao laughed. Whether these words were true or not, it was extremely comfortable to hear them. He was an elegant and humorous gentleman. It's my honor to be chosen by Songhong. Now that I've worked with Songhong, I realize that this is the smartest decision I've made in the entertainment industry. Tang Bao smiled appropriately. Qin Mo looked at the person beside him. Is this your friend? Yes, my friend. Tang Bao was slightly surprised that he would change the topic to the person beside him. After all, someone of Qin Mo's status wouldn't be interested in such things. More surprises awaited. Give me an introduction? Tang Bao was, after all, an experienced person who had seen all kinds of situations in the entertainment industry. Although he was stunned, he quickly calmed down. This is Yu Lianlian. I know, the retired best actress. Qin Mo smiled. Yes, Meng Shi and Cheng Ju are artists signed by my studio. This is my good friend and confidant, Juan Malay. This is the scriptwriter of iBao Studio, who is also my good friend. This is Zhang Hongqi, who is also my good friend. In other words, they're all my good friends. Tang Bao's introduction made him want to laugh. Qin Mo glanced over at the few of them. She wasn't sure if it was Tang Bao's illusion, but she felt that Qin Mo's gaze was fixed on Red 7 before he retracted it silently. It seems like Boss Tang is very popular with women. Qin Mo smiled. Ha ha ha, I think so too. To tell you the truth, I've always been popular with women since I was young. Tang Bao laughed. Yu Yinlian, Juan Malay, Luo Luoli, and Red 7. But Boss Qin is more popular with women than I am. Tang Bao said jokingly. You must be joking. After Qin Mo finished speaking, he looked at Red 7. I'm a little surprised. I thought that everyone who comes here is wearing a gown. Tang Bao explained. Ah, sorry, my friend accidentally dirted her gown on the way here, so she wore this. It's okay, I'm just curious. I think she's very beautiful even without a gown, Qin Mo said with a smile. Tang Bao. Red 7's body was not only stiff, but even her neck was stiff. She couldn't move it. Qin Mo seemed to be chatting casually. After he was done, he acted as though nothing had happened. I still have something to do, excuse me. Okay, go ahead. When Qin Mo turned around, he glanced at Red 7 again. This time, it wasn't Tang Bao's illusion. Qin Mo really looked at Red 7. He looked at Red 7's face again. It was very ugly. Luo Loli pounced on Tang Bao and grabbed his hand. Baby Tang Bao, I really admire you. Can you kill me? Tang Bao smiled gently. Okay, I admire you so much. You're completely like a strong woman. My eyes are shining, Luo Loli said. Meng, she was unhappy when he heard that. Do you know how to talk? Don't make him sound like a girl. The others retorted in their hearts. He was a girl to begin with. When it was about time, the few of them left the banquet hall together. The moment they walked out, they saw Hiju. Tang Bao asked, Are you here to pick me up? No, Hiju answered simply. Tang Bao was speechless. Hiju looked at Juan Malay. Juan Malay's face was hot, especially when she was stared at ambiguously by the others. Yo, there's someone here to pick you up. Malay, I wanted to let you sit in my car. It seems like I won't have the chance. Yu Yinlian laughed. Just as she finished laughing, a low voice sounded beside her. Let's go. Yu Yinlian turned back. It was Zhou Jisen. She asked in surprise, Why are you here? Everyone looked at Yu Yinlian in shock. Then they saw Zhou Jisen looking at Yu Yinlian very slowly. His gaze was almost tearing Yu Yinlian apart. No, I mean, why are you standing beside me? You've always been far away from me. Yu Yinlian quickly explained. However, if Zhou Jisen believed her, then he wouldn't be Zhou Jisen. He glanced at her coldly and walked away, ignoring Yu Yinlian. Vice President Yu, aren't you going to chase after him? Tang Bao asked. Yu Yinlian felt embarrassed, but she didn't dare to not chase after him. She laughed dryly and followed Zhou Jisen. Hiju also picked up Juan Malay. Meng, she hooked his arm around Tang Bao's shoulder. Let's go. Take my car. I'll send you back. Do you think that's possible? I'm already married. Let another person send me home? Are you afraid of being seen by my other half? Tang Bao retorted. Meng Shi's hand on Tang Bao's shoulder stiffened. He retracted it and walked away with a terrible expression. Chengju said goodbye to Tang Bao and left as well. Only Tang Bao and Luo Luoli were left. Let's go. I'll send you back, Tang Bao said. Tang Bao, I don't think so. Seeing that Tang Bao didn't understand, Luo Luoli pointed into the distance. The black car was like a dormant beast in the night. The headlights were as bright as torches and couldn't be ignored. Even if he couldn't see the license plate, Tang Bao knew whose car it was. Did Di Haoyan just arrive? Or did he not leave at all? Because when she got out of the car, Di Haoyan parked it there. Let's go. Let's go together, Tang Bao said. Chapter 1024. Okay, bye. Tang Bao turned and walked towards Di Haoyan's car. Luo Luoli was still waving at Tang Bao when a voice came from behind. You only saw Di Haoyan's car and didn't see mine? Luo Luoli and Red 7 both turned and were shocked by the sudden voice. Gu Linshan stood behind them as though he had just come out of a banquet. His back was against the light, and his face was dark and gloomy, carrying a sense of danger. Luo Luoli didn't dare to ask, "Little uncle, where did you park your car?" Wouldn't that be admitting that she really didn't see Gu Linshan's car? She wouldn't let herself provoke Gu Linshan. The feeling of coming at night was very dangerous. It was the kind of fear that wild beasts would appear everywhere. That was the feeling that Gu Linshan gave her. "Little uncle, Red 7 can take our car too. We'll send her home," Luo Luoli said. Red 7 was about to reject and say that she would take the car, but someone rejected on her behalf. "It's okay. I can send her home." Red 7 looked at the car that stopped beside them in shock. It came from the VIP lane and stopped in front of them. The car window rolled down, revealing Qin Mo's refined face. At least, that was how Red 7 saw it. Luo Luoli was very surprised. This President Qin was so approachable. Red 7 didn't seem to be close to him. She was about to reject when Gu Linshan hugged her first. "Since someone is sending her, she doesn't need to take our car." But before Luo Luoli could say anything, Gu Linshan took her away forcefully. Red 7 stood there in a daze for a few seconds. Wasn't this too much? How could they give her to a stranger? She watched as Gu Linshan and Luo Luoli left. But even if she had to stay here alone, she wouldn't take a stranger's car. She definitely wouldn't get in. What a joke. Hence, she turned and left. "Why? You don't dare to take my car?" Qin Mo asked calmly. Red 7's back stiffened. She turned and looked at him. "You're so kind as to send me home? What's your motive? What's so strange? We used to be schoolmates." Red 7 thought, "Can I not be your schoolmate? This schoolmate is poisonous, okay? It's okay. We should draw a line and treat each other as strangers. Are you really not getting in the car?" "No. If I told your friend that I forced myself on you, would you still do it?" Qin Mo seemed to be in a dilemma as he frowned and asked. His face was still elegant and his handsome face. It was as though this wasn't a threat. However, Red 7 felt was a real threat. It was fine if lowly Luo was the only one who knew about this embarrassing incident. Did she want everyone to know? Because she didn't know who he was. Because if she had known from the start that this person was Qin Mo, she would definitely have kept this secret until her death. Don't doubt my words. Qin Mo had already opened the car door. He seemed sure that Red 7 would get in his car. This feeling was King terrible. She, Red 7, was actually threatened by someone who raped her. She, who was cool as a beggar, wasn't cool now. She was angry, but she couldn't move. But it was just a car. What was there to be conflicted about? Did this person want to do something to her? At least Red 7 was on guard. She didn't feel like she was at a disadvantage. Hence, Red 7 got in the car rudely and slammed the door shut. Qin Mo didn't seem to care and asked the driver to drive. On the road, Qin Mo glanced at Red 7 and asked, "Sit so far away from me. I won't do anything to you." For Red 7, who had been raped twice without being able to resist, this feeling was really King terrible. It was as if this person's every word was about rape, violence, or threatening her to be raped, and so on. "Would you like me to do something to you?" Red 7's expression was about to collapse. "Don't worry, CEO Qin, I definitely don't think that way." Qin Mo leaned against the back of the chair, casually. The slender and fair fingers on his thighs tapped slightly, as though he was planning something. But it was possible to say that he was just acting subconsciously. Red 7's gaze landed on Qin Mo's fingers. They were fair and slender, and the tips of his fingers were round and clean. He was as fastidious as a rich young master. He gave off the feeling of an extremely cultured gentleman. He had a refined and elegant temperament from head to toe. It was hard to imagine that such a person would do such a thing. She still couldn't believe it. "CEO Qin, call me by my name." Qin Mo interrupted her. Red 7 choked. Was there a difference? All right, if you wanted to call him that, then so be it. Just don't delay her. "Qin Mo, you are the CEO of Songhong. Can I understand that you have a lot of women around you?" "A lot." Qin Mo didn't deny it. Anyone with eyes could see it. "Then you shouldn't lack women. Why do you have to find me?" Red 7 asked. What does having a lot of women around me have to do with a lack of women? Red 7 was really stumped. Yes, what did it have to do with anything? Why did Chin and Mo make it sound like he was an extremely disciplined person in terms of relationships? Would a disciplined person force himself on a beggar? And I said that I forced myself on you because you forced a kiss on me. Then I apologized to you. I apologize to you for forcing myself on you. How about it? Do you accept it? Yes, I definitely accept it. If she didn't accept it, then Chin and Mo could refuse to accept her. Wouldn't that be endless? I don't accept it, Chin and Mo said. Red 7. I like to use my own way to respond to you, Chin and Mo said with principles. Then is that enough? No. Chin and Mo, what exactly do you want? Just because I forced a kiss on you in university, I should be forced by you? She didn't expect that fatty to have such a side to him. If she had known that he was so difficult to deal with, she would rather kiss a girl. She would tell Yao Bin that she was actually gay. Chin and Mo tilted his face slightly, a hint of sharpness flashing through his cold eyes. It seems so. The car stopped in front of a familiar house. Red 7 was about to open the car door when she paused. I don't live here. Send me back to the bridge. Chin and Mo didn't say anything. He just instructed the driver to go to the bridge. Red 7 didn't have to worry that Chin and Mo didn't know the address. How could he not know the place where he forced himself on her the first time? When they reached the bridge, Red 7 walked into the bridge without turning back. The deeper she walked into the long bridge, the quieter it became. Every step he took reverberated in the surroundings, and there was a vibrating echo in his chest. Chapter 1025. There was a shadow in his slightly restrained eyes. She couldn't see his eyes clearly, but they were very deep. It was as though there was a thick layer of dark film on them. It wasn't that Red 7 didn't feel the stare, but she didn't turn back. She didn't understand what Chin and Mo was doing. Would he wait for her to sleep and rape her again? After all, Chin and Mo drank at the banquet. As a result, when Red 7 laid in her kennel, she still couldn't calm down. She was afraid that Chin and Mo would suddenly appear. At that time, she wouldn't be able to call for help. However, she was also curious. She wasn't the only one sleeping under the overpass. Why didn't others notice that Chin and Mo raped her that night? Or did he help? Red 7 thought that perhaps her popularity wasn't enough for others to help her. However, Chin Mo's appearance still affected her mood. It wasn't about being raped, but about Yao Bin. She tried her best not to think about it and lived a carefree life. However, Chin Mo's existence made her recall that shadow-like existence. She liked Yao Bin since she was a teenager. The two families had been interested in marriage for a long time. They had said that they were going to get engaged, and she had always seen Yao Bin as her future husband. Later, she encountered Yao Bin's betrayal and had a showdown with the two families in private. Red 7 thought that she would wait until the engagement was broken, but she didn't expect it to happen at the engagement party. In front of so many people, he said that he wanted to break the engagement. At that time, Red 7 felt as though her head had been smashed with a stick. She finally experienced the feeling of being disgraced. Her father didn't like her after knowing that she was a girl. Now, he said that he didn't have a daughter like her. If her mother hadn't begged her, she wouldn't have gone back these 2 years. Even if she went back, it didn't mean that she had a good relationship with her family. After she got a postdoc, she found out that her father had another woman outside. Her mother was clearly in pain, but she insisted on staying at home. Red 7 felt that life was a little funny. Everything was fake. Hence, she became a beggar as a doctoral student. She did it for many years. Even if she lived a muddle-headed life, it was quite comfortable. She hadn't expected Chin and Mo to appear. Red 7 tossed and turned, unable to fall asleep. There were too many messy things in her mind. She was still worried that Chin and Mo would appear. Would this person be more impudent if he told her everything? Then should she sleep somewhere else? However, the second time she was raped, she did not sleep under the bridge. Could it be that Chin and Mo knew where she slept? Thinking of this, Red 7 couldn't sleep. At noon, Luo Luoli came to find Red 7 with lunch. She saw Red 7 sitting under the bridge with a gloomy face. He was filled with resentment. Red 7, what's wrong? Luo Luoli walked over. I brought you lunch. Why are you here? Especially for me? I called you, but you didn't answer. I was worried about you, so I came to check on you. Luo Luoli sat down. Let's eat. Thank you. Seven picked up the box and began to eat. Luo Luoli watched her eat for a while before asking, Did President Qin send you back in the end? He's on the way. Seventh, Red covered it up. Oh, then he's not that bad, Luo Luoli said with a smile. Red 7 thought. He wasn't that bad, but he was so bad that he was bleeding. Of course, she didn't want to say this and make Luo Luoli suspicious. She really didn't want her to know that there was such a thing between her and Qin Mo, Red 7. You seem to have something on your mind. After being asked by Luo Luoli, Red 7 lost her appetite even more. But because Luo Luoli specially brought her food, she had to eat it. So she stuffed her mouth mouthful by mouthful. After stuffing her mouth full, she started to speak. Her words were muffled, but if you pricked up your ears, you could hear what she was saying. Maybe it's the after effects of the banquet. There's so much good food, but I don't think I've eaten enough. I regret not eating more. Luo Luoli thought. She didn't eat enough? She was so full that she had to run to the toilet. Red 7 swallowed the food in her mouth and pretended to ask casually, Loli, let me ask you something. Go ahead. If one day you forced a kiss on a man, and the man came to take revenge on you, what would you do? Revenge? How? Luo Luoli seriously considered this question. Force a kiss back. That's impossible, right? Either that man likes that woman, or he's bored. Red 7 thought that it was impossible for him to like her, and it didn't seem like he was bored. She felt that Qin Mo was too cultured and scum. Who was forced to kiss? Luo Luoli asked. Nothing. I just watched a melodramatic TV show and thought about it. Melodramatic TV shows have their charm. I like to watch it at home. It's quite relaxing. As a future scriptwriter, Luo Luoli would watch all kinds of TV shows. Just as the two of them were talking, several cars stopped outside the overpass. It seemed that the situation was serious. There were even police cars behind them. The few people who came down looked like leaders, and there were policemen in uniform. They walked down the bridge. What are they doing? Luo Luoli asked. Of course, Red 7 didn't know, and she didn't need to answer. Because the moment they walked over, they chased away the beggars who were still sleeping under the bridge. Stop sleeping. Wake up. Wake up. The sleeping beggars were all woken up, and they looked at these people anxiously. Listen up. From now on, beggars are not allowed to sleep under the bridge. Red 7 walked forward and tried to reason with them. Why not? This is our shelter. We will try to contact your family and bring you back. If you're really homeless, follow us to the police station to register. We will give you the best arrangement. The leader didn't look bad. The beggars were happy when they heard that, because they were indeed homeless. If the leader really thought about them and made arrangements, they wouldn't need to sleep under the bridge. But to Red 7, this wasn't a good thing. She had a family, and she was a postdoc, so she definitely wasn't homeless. But she didn't want to bring her family back. But she couldn't reason with these people. After all, it was good treatment for the truly homeless beggars. Let's go, follow us. Then the beggars followed into the car. The leader saw Red 7 standing there motionlessly and asked, You're not a beggar, right? Beggars don't dress like you. Red 7 lowered her head and looked at the clothes she was wearing. It was the clothes from the banquet yesterday. She didn't look like a beggar and looked more human than usual. Chapter 10:26. Since you're not, then don't sleep under the bridge. The higher-ups have ordered that no one is allowed to sleep under the bridge. Go back. After the man finished speaking, he got in the car and drove away. Red 7 didn't want to leave, but if she didn't, she would definitely be chased away. But she didn't want to go home. Red 7, stay at my place. There are a lot of rooms in the villa anyway. You can stay there if you want. Luo Luoli knew Red 7's current state of mind. If she was willing to go home, would she still stay here? No way. I'm afraid that your husband will chop off a super big light bulb like me. It's not as exaggerated as you say, Luo Luoli said without much confidence. It's not that bad. If I can't sleep here, I can sleep somewhere else. There's more than one place in D-City. Red 7 would definitely not sleep at Luo Luali's house. But Red 7 thought too simply. When she found another good place to sit down, the city enforcement officers drove their motorcycles over in less than 10 minutes. Are you a beggar? Red 7 asked puzzledly. City enforcement officers, beggars don't break the law, right? It doesn't break the law, but it affects the city's appearance. If you're really homeless, go to the police station to register. The city enforcement officers said arrogantly. Luo Luali saw that Red 7's expression wasn't too good and didn't want her to fight with the city enforcement officers. Before doing so, Luo Luali smiled and asked the city enforcement officers, "Is D-City doing some kind of civilized city management?" "Yes, so we have to eliminate any beggars in D-City." The city enforcement officers were dignified, and their bright uniforms were very eye-catching. At this moment, Red 7 felt as if he was inhaling an itch and exhaling anger. She had never liked the city enforcement officers, but now they were bullying her. But what could she do? Fight with the city enforcement officers? Of course not. A wise man knows better than to fight when the odds are against him. Then I'm going home. Red 7 packed her bedding. Ah, you're going home? Luo Luali couldn't believe it. That can't be helped. You can't sleep on the streets of D-City. If you're fine, go home. You're really going home? Luo Luali asked again in disbelief. What's so strange? Didn't you go back often in the past? Luo Luali thought. Yes, they were going back, but it was different this time. If the city was reorganized, they would not be able to sleep on the streets in the future. Red 7 would have to sleep at home. Although Red 7 didn't tell her about her family, it wasn't hard to guess that Red 7 didn't like her family. Luo Luali felt that she was probably the only person who wanted her friends to sleep on the streets. All right, I'm leaving. You should go back too. Call me if there's anything. Then he packed up and left. It seemed that the city enforcement officers would not leave until she packed up. It was as if they were bent on seeing her leave. Red 7 felt helpless. After saying goodbye to Luo Luali, she got on the bus. Red 7 leaned against the car window, and her lifeless face was reflected in the glass. For the first time, she felt that there wasn't a single piece of land in Imperial City that could accommodate her. The car stopped at one stop after another, but Red 7 had no intention of getting off. They followed the car to the final stop, the suburbs. Then, she dragged her bedding to an alley and decided to stay here. However, just as she put down her bedding, an old man beside her stood up. "Do you have any eyes? Someone is sleeping here." "Sir, you want to sleep on such a big piece of land? That's too extravagant." Red 7 made up her mind not to leave and sat down. The old man was anxious. No one had ever squeezed their territory with him. He looked at Red 7 from head to toe. "Who are you? Why do you have to sleep here?" "I'm Red 7. I'm new here. I hope you could be generous and let me have a comfortable place to stay." "Hong Qigong?" The old man was shocked. "Hong is in red. Since you have the same name as Hong Qigong, I'll let you sleep here." Red 7 crossed her legs and looked at the sky. "Thank you, sir, but you don't look like a beggar. Haven't you heard that Hong Qigong's beggars are separated into clean and unclean ones?" "That's true." The old man expressed his acceptance. Although Red 7 was a beggar, she still loved cleanliness. It was just that her clothes were tattered, and she looked no different from a beggar. Get up, get up. Why is there a beggar here?" Red 7 was shocked. She sat up, grabbed her bedding, and ran. Why were there city enforcement officers everywhere? Did they have to clean up the suburbs too? She wanted to find another place to rest with Luo Luali on her back. Great! She was chased away again. Then, Red 7 realized that city enforcement officers would appear within a few minutes of her sitting down in the suburbs. Thus, Red 7 was chased back to the city. She had nowhere to go in the chaos. The endless traffic made her feel irritated. In the end, she sat by the roadside, next to a lamppost. Her hair was messed up by her, and her face was dirty because she had not washed it after sleeping for the whole night. She felt very sleepy because she did not sleep last night. She might as well listen to the noise of cars and people and close her eyes to sleep. She felt that she could sleep. For a person who is seriously sleep-deprived, she could definitely do it. Just a few minutes after she closed her eyes, a shadow covered her eyes. Red 7 thought it was city enforcement officers again. She did not want to struggle anymore. City enforcement officers, I need to sleep for a while. I will leave after sleeping, Red 7 said weakly without opening her eyes. This will affect the city's appearance. The low and clear voice was so familiar that Red 7 opened her eyes abruptly. She was so scared that her sleepiness flew away. She looked up at Chin Mo, who was looking down at her in a daze. Why are you here? This is Tsang Hong's headquarters. Red 7 turned her head to look. There was indeed a building behind her. The silver words Tsang Hong at the entrance were so domineering. She couldn't be so unlucky, right? She sat directly at the entrance of Tsang Hong and bumped into Chin Mo. Sorry, I didn't know this was Tsang Hong. I will leave now. Red 7 picked up her bedding and was about to leave. The road in front was blocked by a sturdy wall. She was blocked to the left and right. What are you doing? Since you are at the entrance, why don't you go in and have a cup of tea? No, I don't like to drink. You don't have to refuse. Red 7 did not understand what he meant and looked at him in confusion. You will go in eventually. Why? Are you threatening me again? Red 7 didn't understand. No, I will ask the security to invite you in. He was indeed a refined scum. He said this sentence as if he was inviting her in for a tour. But if this was not a threat, what was it? In the end, Red 7 was invited into Tsang Hong. When she went in, the bedding in her hand was taken over by Chin Mo. Red 7 was so shocked that she couldn't speak for a long time. She even forgot to refuse. Chapter 10:27. Red 7 stood at the entrance of the elevator without saying anything. She was filled with negativity. Whatever. She wanted to know what Chin Mo wanted to do. It was impossible for her to take the initiative to kiss him again. When the elevator door opened, the people inside and outside were stunned. Tang Bao looked at Red 7, who was with Chin Mo. He couldn't react in time. Red 7 didn't expect that there was no most awkward situation in the world, only more awkward situations. She wanted to find a wall and bang her head against it. Did she have nothing to live for? Tang Bao walked out first and greeted Chin Mo. CEO Chin. Oh, it's CEO Tang. Yes, I was discussing with CEO Zhao about the female lead and was about to go back. This, CEO Chin and Red 7 know each other? Tang Bao asked with a smile. This, before Chin Mo could say anything, Red 7 went forward and grabbed Tang Bao. She moved far away from Chin Mo so that he couldn't hear their conversation. Chin Mo didn't stop her. He just stood there and waited calmly. Red 7 grabbed Tang Bao and explained anxiously, Don't tell Lolita that I know Chin Mo. You really know each other? I don't think it's because you met last night. Tang Bao saw it at the banquet. The way Chin Mo looked at those female celebrities was different from the way he looked at 7. It didn't seem like the first time they met. She's my classmate in university. So she's your classmate. That's a good relationship. Tang Bao was happy to hear this. Why do I feel like you're gloating? CEO Chin is a disaster. Tang Bao was shocked. Red 7 scratched her head. Anyway, it's just a normal classmate relationship. Don't think too much. Then why don't you tell Alita? Since it's a normal classmate relationship, it shouldn't be a big deal, right? Tang Bao wanted to dig deeper. Of course, Red 7 had a guilty conscience, so he couldn't say it. No, you have to help me keep it a secret. Tang Bao nodded. Okay, I promise I won't say a word. Thank you. Tang Bao watched as Chin Mo and Red 7 entered the elevator. After the doors closed, he immediately whipped out his phone and called Luo Luoli. As he walked out, he asked, Guess what I saw just now? What? I'm in Sanhong. President Chin is with Red 7. What? That refined gentleman? Luo Luoli was also shocked. Yes, and President Chin is carrying Red 7's bedding. Is Red 7 going to stay at President Chin's house? This person is too disloyal. She said she was going home, but it turned out that she sent me away to look for President Chin? That's not right. Why are the two of them together? Red 7 said that President Chin was her university classmate. So you know each other? Then why did the two of them act like strangers at the banquet? Luoli suddenly realized something. No wonder 7 Red called President Chin a refined scum. They must have known each other before. Yeah, I think so too. By the way, don't tell anyone that I told you. Do you think she won't be able to guess? Seems like it. Tang Bao wasn't worried because of this. Instead, he laughed heartily. Red 7 sat on the sofa in Chin Mo's office. In order to show that she was fearless, she deliberately posed in a casual manner. She crossed her legs and leaned against the sofa. She looked around. The office was very spacious, the light was good, and it was very clean. Even the desk was neatly arranged. It was obvious that this person had high standards for the quality of life. How could such a person lay his hands on a beggar like her? She couldn't figure it out. Chin Mo poured the water and handed it to Red 7. Red 7 took the cup and looked at the clear water inside. He really asked her to come up and drink tea. I drugged it, Chin Mo said when he saw her in a daze. Red 7 was slightly stunned. She looked at Chin Mo and rolled her eyes in her heart. She drank the water. Chin Mo must have said this on purpose because he saw her staring at the water and not drinking it. She was really thirsty. After eating Luoli's lunch, she hadn't drunk any water. It wasn't easy for her to take so long to drink a mouthful of water. Chin Mo saw her finish the water. He restrained his gaze and sat down on the sofa opposite her. His long and slender legs were very pleasing to the eye. Red 7 looked at this person. She really couldn't treat this person in front of her as the fatty in the past. I say, you're not deliberately looking for an excuse to rape me, so that you can say that we're classmates, right? You can investigate. Whatever I do to you, it's perfectly justifiable. Serves me right for saying this. Red 7 saw Chin Mo staring at her. She put down her crossed legs and adjusted her posture slightly. She cleared her throat. I've finished the water. Thank you for the water. I'm going home. Now that D-City is renovating its appearance, there's no place for you to sleep. I can go home. She would rather stand on the street and sleep than stay here. What kind of joke was this? She would never change the image of scum in her heart towards someone who raped her, and she would never walk with a scum. In this world, birds of a feather flock together. But she and Chin Mo were completely different. Sure, Chin Mo nodded and said so. Red 7 was a little surprised by Chin Mo's agreement, but then she thought that he couldn't stop her if she wanted to leave. That was why Chin Mo gave up. But when Red 7 turned to take her bedding, she felt dizzy. She didn't know when Chin Mo, who was in front of her, hugged her to prevent her from falling. Red 7's hand supported her dizzy head. That's strange. Why am I dizzy? Even if she was tired to death, it shouldn't be like this, right? What did she do just now? She just drank a glass of water. She thought of something and turned to look at Chin Mo's gentle and elegant face in disbelief. You drugged me. I already told you that I drugged you. You still drank it. F***CK. Red 7 broke down. How would she know that he really drugged her? Who would tell the person who drugged him? Can't you play your cards logically? However, she didn't have the chance to roar. Her vision turned black, and she fell into Chin Mo's arms. When Red 7 woke up, she was in an unfamiliar room. The cold-colored bedroom style was clean and refreshing. It was simple but low-key luxurious. There was a faint sandalwood scent in her nose. This feeling was too unfamiliar. When she sat up, the door opened, and Chin Mo walked in. Red 7 looked at the person who walked in a daze. Her face was filled with anger. She wanted to tear that beast's face into pieces. You can't blame me. I already told you that the water was drugged. I thought you liked to drink it. Red 7 gritted her teeth. Who would like to drink drugged water? Chapter 10:28. But I'm definitely not that weirdo. Red 7's entire body was trembling with anger, her face almost distorted. Yes, she, Red 7, had always been carefree and careless. She had never been angered to this extent. However, she had met a master. This person was Chin Mo. But just as Red 7 was trembling with anger, she lowered her head and saw the clothes on her body. It definitely wasn't her clothes, it was a man's pajamas. Chinamo noticed her attention and explained to her, I don't have women's pajamas here, so you can only wear mine. Are you kidding me? Red 7 looked up and glared at his gentle and handsome face. Is this what I care about? Who changed my clothes? Don't tell me it was you. You guessed right, it was me. I don't like servants coming and going in my house, so I'm the only one here. Other than me, no one else helped you change. Why did you change my clothes? Of course I had to change when you were sleeping. I even helped you wipe your body. Chinamo didn't seem to be satisfied and said something even more explosive. Red 7's brain seemed to have been hit by a hammer. She couldn't react. What's the problem? I want to beat you up. Red 7 felt that if she didn't calm herself down, she would be driven crazy by Chinamo. Chinamo heard her rude words, but he wasn't angry. Instead, he smiled. His smile was so gentlemanly and charming. I'll take you somewhere. Where? Red 7 asked fiercely. Civil Affairs Bureau. Red 7 was confused by Chinmo's thoughts. What do you mean? We're going to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get a marriage certificate. Afraid that Red 7 couldn't understand, he added, You and me. Red 7 was stunned. After a long while, she said, Are you crazy? You raped me first, and now you're talking about marriage? Do you think I'll agree? Aren't you too confident? I know you won't agree, so I took some photos. What photos? Red 7 had a bad feeling. Chinamo passed her the phone. Red 7 took it and flipped through it. She saw the unconscious Chinamo and her entangled on the bed. There wasn't anything covering their bodies. Chinamo was on top of her, using his hard body to block Red 7. Besides, he didn't need to look to know that she was completely naked. Red 7's face was clearly captured on camera. She had her eyes closed as though she was enjoying the kiss. The phone was filled with photos of different poses. If 7 didn't know when this was taken, she would be a fool. She blushed and wanted to delete those photos. It's useless even if you delete it. I have a backup. Red 7's hand froze. She slammed her hand on the bed and glared at Chinamo. I'm going to chop you up. She rushed down from the bed and threw a punch at Chinmo's face. Bang! She really hit her. Chinamo tilted his head slightly. He had been punched on the cheek, but he acted as though nothing had happened. Red 7's punch was not enough. She stepped forward and grabbed his neck. I'm going to strangle you. Then the two of them fell directly on the sofa. Red 7's hand really pinched hard. Chinamo didn't want to be strangled by her. He reached his hand directly under Red 7's armpit. Red 7 reacted quickly and retreated. Chinamo was finally able to catch his breath. He sat up and looked at Red 7, who was angry but didn't dare to step forward. If you don't go, I will use the photos to threaten you, Chinamo said calmly. It was so calm that it seemed as though he was communicating normally with someone. But in reality, Red 7 was already panicking because of this person's actions. If he didn't do anything ruthless, she could still beat him up. But it seemed like she had won, but in reality, she had lost completely. Red 7 finally understood the rumors. Song Hong was an unscrupulous and despicable person. This was a public statement in the entertainment industry. Now that she had interacted with Chinamo, she really understood that there was no such thing as the most unscrupulous method. There was only more despicable and shameless. The most important thing was that this person looked like a harmless animal. Why do you want to get a marriage certificate with me? I don't understand. Red 7 was more afraid of itching than pain. She was wondering if Chinamo knew her weakness. He definitely knew. Otherwise, he wouldn't have reached his hand under her armpit. You don't have to think about it. Perhaps the answer is very simple. I just need a wife. Can't you find someone else? Do you think I look like a wife? Red 7 wanted to scream. She was having a seizure. Now, even if a bolt of lightning struck her, she wouldn't feel anything wrong. It's okay. As long as you can sleep with me, you are a good wife. Chinamo adjusted his crooked tie and his messy suit jacket. He stood up and said, Let's go. The Civil Affairs Bureau will be closing soon. You seem to be in a hurry? Chinamo turned around and looked at her. Aren't you leaving? The Civil Affairs Bureau is really closing soon. Red 7 felt like dying. Chinamo looked like he was saying, Aren't you leaving? If you don't leave, you won't be able to eat anymore. How exactly did he do it? Anyway, Red 7's worldview had been severely destroyed. If I don't go with you even if I die, will you release the photos of me in bed? Yes. Chin and Mo smiled politely. If murder wasn't illegal, Red 7 would have killed Chin and Mo already. Do I have a second option? No. In the Civil Affairs Bureau, the staff who handled the marriage certificate looked at the newlyweds in front of him. What happened to your face? He was referring to the place where Red 7 punched Chin Mo's face. It was a little dark green. It was obvious that she didn't hold back. Red 7, who was at the side, thought that it would be best if she was chased out. That way, there wouldn't be a need to get a marriage certificate. She regretted it. Why did she have to carry her identity card and household register with her? This was really, it's okay. I accidentally bumped into it. It won't look good in the photo. Why don't you take the photo and get the certificate after it's healed? The staff asked kindly. After all, there was a patch of green on the face in the marriage certificate photo. It didn't look good. It's okay. Use powder to cover it for me. Chin and Mo smiled. The staff didn't say anything else and stamped their names. When Red 7 was in front of the photo, she looked like she had nothing to live for. Come, smile. Bride, smile on your face. Red 7 pulled her lips into a fake smile. Then she took the photo. Soon it was done. It only took a few minutes. When they were outside, Red 7 held the marriage certificate and followed Chin and Mo into the car. She was really desperate. She was so desperate that she didn't even want to talk. She always thought that she would never get married in this lifetime because of the trauma. But what was this now? She was married. Chapter 1029. That was too dramatic. Too melodramatic. Oh heavens, I just want to be a promising beggar. Can you not play with me like this? Now that we've registered our marriage, you can live at my place legally. You don't have to live on the streets anymore, Chin and Mo said calmly. Why did Red 7 find his words strange? She turned and looked at Chin and Mo seriously. You registered our marriage because you think I don't have a place to live or that I can only live on the streets. That's one of the reasons. Another reason is that I think it will be interesting for us to become husband and wife. Red 7 felt her stomach full of anger, but she didn't know how to release it. Chin and Mo didn't need to use any drastic methods to defeat her. What will your family think of you if you act like this? Will they want to kill you? Red 7 asked. It's okay. I've already told them. Red 7 was stunned when she heard the word early. That meant that it wasn't sudden. It was premeditated. They agreed. Red 7 thought for a long time and asked, Chin and Mo, do you have any secrets? If you don't have any problems, why did you marry me? Is there something wrong with your body? Or are you in debt? You don't have to worry about being in debt. With that, Chin and Mo passed a card to Red 7. This is the first gift I'm giving you after we got married. You could spend the money inside. As for the unspeakable pain of the body, I think no one knows it better than you. What he meant was that they had been intimate twice, and it was completely obvious. I've said it just now. Firstly, you don't have a place to live. Secondly, it will be interesting for us to become husband and wife. You're the interesting one? You're playing me. Red 7 threw the card to him. Thank you for your kindness, but I don't need it. There are two obligations that a husband has to fulfill. Firstly, in bed. Secondly, money. You can't do without either. Chin and Mo stuffed the card into Red 7's hand gently again. His fair fingers scratched Red 7's soft palm, making her stiffen. This time, Red 7 didn't dare to return the card to him, because she understood what exactly was dangerous about Chin and Mo. That was how frightening it was to achieve one's goals. If she didn't want the card, she might have been on the bed in an instant. Once again, they returned to Chin Mo's house. It was a quiet and serene villa. Was it really as he had said? There weren't any helpers inside? Was there only her and Chin and Mo in such a huge villa? So before she came, Chin and Mo had been living here alone? Then wouldn't it be noisy if there was an extra noisy person like her? Chin and Mo, have you lived with a second person before? 7 asked curiously. Are you referring to men or women? You've lived with a woman before? 7 was surprised. No. Red 7 felt that talking to Chin and Mo was driving him crazy. If there wasn't, why were you asking about men and women? What about men? No. Seventh Red exhaled deeply to prevent himself from flying into a rage. He held it in and said, "Since there's nothing, why are you asking about men and women? Is it necessary?" "Yes," Chinemo said elegantly. "Why is that necessary? I think you might care about my previous women." "What possibility? It's impossible." Regardless of whether you're sincere or unintentional, or if you're embarrassed, I have to tell you that it was my first time touching you. Seventh Red's face was very beautiful. It was colorful and mostly red. Why was he telling her this? Also, who didn't have their first time? So what if it was your first time? No, it was actually Chin Mo's first time. You're surrounded by bright and beautiful celebrities. You actually didn't do anything with them? Seventh Red was very suspicious about this. At least, if she was alone and faced with a whole company of handsome men, she might be mesmerized one day. Chinemo was a normal man. Didn't he need it? To me, they help me earn money. Seventh Red thought that if those female celebrities heard this, they would probably be heartbroken. At the banquet, she saw clearly that all the female celebrities wanted to get close to Chinemo. Even a blind person could tell what they were thinking. Then you've never had a girlfriend before? No. Seventh Red felt that this person didn't have to lie to her. If he had a girlfriend, so be it. If he didn't have one, nothing would happen. However, she had to admit that Chin Mo's words made her see him in a new light. After all, he was a very impressive person who didn't have a single leaf on him. Then, have you done any research on me? Although I'm a beggar, it doesn't mean that I won't find a boyfriend. Seventh Red was very confident. Even if she was a beggar, she would still be liked, as long as she was willing. Chin Mo glanced at her. His gaze was clear. There was a certain smile on his face. Seventh Red's pride was hurt. What do you mean? Are you sure that I won't find a boyfriend? You think that no one will like me, right? Let me tell you, I've found a few boyfriends in the past few years as a beggar. Chinemo looked at her with a faint smile. Then, he asked, "When are we going to your house?" Seventh Red was stunned. Why did the topic change so strangely? Why are we going to my house? A son-in-law has to visit. When Seventh Red thought of her family, her expression became a little uneasy. However, she still controlled herself and asked, "Chinemo, do you know about my family situation? My parents don't have a good relationship. In order to keep my father, my mother told my father that she gave birth to a boy, which is me. But my father still had a woman outside and gave birth to a son for him. At first, I thought it was a fight between the two sons. Later, I realized that I was just a girl and didn't even have the right to fight. Although that place is called home now, my father basically doesn't go back. Instead, he formed a family with another woman. Our family is very abnormal. Do you understand?" Chinemo didn't say anything. Instead, he approached Seventh Red and stopped at a distance that couldn't be any closer. The pressure made Seventh Red feel like a mountain was about to collapse. "I understand." Red 7 couldn't help but take a step back. She saw Chin Mo's face clearly. He was still so handsome, but his gaze was fixed on her. It was as though she wouldn't be able to escape even if she didn't say or do anything. "I've known since the beginning, when I was in university." "Then I really don't understand you." "It's enough that I understand you." It was enough that he understood her. Did Chin Mo really understand her? Did he know her worries? But why couldn't she say anything? Chapter 10:30. How about this? Let's go to your house today. Chin Mo arranged. Red 7 was completely led by the nose by Chin Mo. This kind of thing, and it was the right time? But she really went to her house with Chin Mo. Kai Xiujuan was an honest housewife. She didn't know how to take care of herself, and she didn't pay much attention to her clothes. She was also slightly chubby. Kai Xiujuan looked at the two people who came in a daze. After Chin Mo introduced himself, she stared at the two of them. The daughter who insisted on begging, the daughter who didn't listen to anyone, the daughter who was almost ruined in the eyes of others, actually got a marriage certificate with a man. And this man looked so outstanding and cultured. Was there a mistake? What happened? Why couldn't she figure it out? Mom. Kai Xiujuan didn't know how to react when Chin Mo called her mom. Red 7 raised her eyebrows and turned to look at Sheen. Emma, wasn't it too easy for you to call her that? It was as easy as calling out his mother's name. The key was that her mom agreed immediately. Hey, don't stand there. Come in and sit. After entering, Sheen and Mo sat down on the sofa. Red 7 was about to sit down when Kai Xiujuan pulled her up. Come over and help me. After Red 7 was pulled into the kitchen, she asked, What's the situation? Why are you married? Why does he want to marry you? Is he short-sighted? How do you know he's short-sighted? Red 7 thought. How could she tell? She wore contact lenses. He has good eyes. How'd he fall for you? Tell me quickly. What's the situation with this person? Why did you two get married? Did you force him to do it? Kai Xiujuan knew her daughter too well. It was her fault for raising her as a boy. Then, she grew up to be like this. She didn't have the delicate side of a girl at all. Red 7 was really wronged. When she was raped for the first time, she didn't choose to call the police. Who would believe her? Look, even her own mother didn't believe her. She was the one who was forced. Instead, she had to bear this kind of questioning. How innocent was she? No, we used to be classmates. He pursued me and wanted to marry me, so I agreed. Aren't you the one who keeps telling me to find an honest person to marry? 7 had already given up on refuting. I've said it before, but when it really comes to this, I feel uneasy. Look, Chinamo looks like an outstanding person. What does he do? It should be the professor, right? No, I started my own company. What? I don't understand why he married you. You were still a boy in school, right? Red 7 felt that her mother was too naggy. If her father was at home, he would definitely lose his temper after hearing 3 sentences from her. However, her mother had no sense of repentance at all. The more her father annoyed her, the more she wanted to curry favor with him. Red 7 used to think that it was her mother's fault. Later, she realized that if a man didn't love you, even if you were mute, he would still think that you were an eyesore. You don't have to worry. When we were in school, he already knew that I was a girl. He fell in love with me at first sight. Later on, he couldn't forget her, and now he's looking for me. I saw that he was infatuated, so I agreed to the marriage. 7th Red said, without blushing. At the dining table, the 3 of them ate dinner together. Kai Xiujuan was good at making soup. She wasn't born with it. She learned it in order to keep her husband's heart. Chinemo, drink more soup. See if it tastes good. 7th Red could tell that Kai Xiujuan was a little reserved in front of Chinemo. She was afraid that she would do something wrong and scare this cheap son-in-law away. Chinemo drank a mouthful and said, It's delicious. Really? It's good that you like it. I'll make more for you next time. Kai Xiujuan was very happy, as though she had been praised. 7th Red didn't like it when her mother hated another person so much. Perhaps it was because she saw her mother trying to please her father too many times, so she couldn't help but feel repulsed. Chinamo drank another mouthful before saying, I've never had such a delicious soup. I wonder when you have time to teach me. Teach you? No need. If you want to drink it, I'll get 7th Red to make it for you, Kai Xiujuan said. 7th Red glared at her mother and asked silently, When did I know how to make soup? I only know how to drink it. However, Kai Xiujuan didn't care about her gesture and continued to smile. No need. I'll learn how to make soup, and I'll make it for 7th Red in the future, Chinemo said. Kai Xiujuan was stunned. 7th Red didn't believe Chinmo's words. He really knew how to coax his mother-in-law? Which mother-in-law wouldn't like such a son-in-law? Chinmo acted as though he was a veteran. This isn't very good. Men have their own careers. You should let 7th Red do those things in the kitchen. Kai Xiujuan's thoughts were still conservative. The key was that she had been serving her husband. Her husband didn't even look at her after she served him so much. What if it was the other way around? My heart aches for her, so I'll feel happy if she drinks the soup I made. Kai Xiujuan was overjoyed. Where did she find such a good son-in-law? Then she thought of something and asked, When are you going to hold the wedding? I can prepare her dowry. As long as she's willing, we can do it any time. Kai Xiujuan was about to say something when 7th Red immediately said, Mom, hurry up and eat. It's getting cold. If she continued, she didn't know what her mother would ask. Kai Xiujuan glared at her, but didn't say anything else. 7th Red didn't want to say anything more. She just wanted to bury her face in the bowl. Hold a wedding? Chinamo could do it alone. Anyway, she wouldn't participate. After staying at home for more than 2 hours, he didn't see Seventh Red's father, Zhang Hongping, come back. Anyway, to Seventh Red, this was a very normal thing. They returned to Qin Mo's villa. Seventh Red followed behind and looked around. In the future, she didn't have to sleep on the streets or go home. She had to admit that this was a place to stay. The premise was that if she didn't get a marriage certificate with this person, it would be best. When they entered the hall, Seventh Red didn't pay attention and bumped into the back of the person in front of her. She took a big step back in shock. Qin Mo turned and looked at her for a while. Then he instructed the only butler, "Bring Madam's luggage to my room." The butler was about to do it when Seventh Red hurriedly stopped him. "Wait, what's wrong? I'm sleeping with you?" Seventh Red asked in shock. "Although I'm not used to it since I just got married, I have to get used to it eventually." Qin Mo was calm and matter-of-factly. Chapter 1031. Share a bed with Qin Mo? That was too exciting. Although Qin Mo had registered his marriage with her, and they were legally husband and wife, he was still no different from a stranger. She didn't want to sleep with a stranger who had raped her twice. Wouldn't that be letting her off easy? Qin Mo didn't force her to sleep with him. He instructed the butler, "Go and prepare." Yes. Red 7 was surprised that he agreed so easily. But this was for the best. She didn't have to waste her breath. "I'll give you time to prepare, but don't make me wait too long. Is that okay?" Qin Mo asked politely, as if he was discussing with her. If Red 7 really thought that he was a harmless person, she would really be raped again. But she couldn't say no. If she didn't, the outcome wouldn't be too optimistic. "Okay, it's settled then." Qin Mo smiled gently at her. Red 7's eyes flashed, and she looked elsewhere. "Don't think that I will sleep with you just because you smile at me like that." The guest room prepared for Red 7 was about the same size as Qin Mo's room and had a similar layout. It couldn't be any better than the room in her own house. Not to mention, sleeping on the streets was a far cry from that. Red 7 fell on the bed. The bed was very soft. It was definitely a world of difference from the hard ground on the streets. She thought about the rough road between her and Qin Mo since they met at the banquet. To be exact, it started from the moment she was stopped at the entrance of the banquet. He was the one sitting in the car. Then, he ordered the security guard to let her in. Until now, she felt that she had fallen into Qin Mo's trap. But how did she fall? She, who had high IQ and low EQ, couldn't understand. "What are you thinking about?" "Huh?" Red 7 jumped up from the bed in shock. She got down and looked at Qin Mo, who had entered her room without her knowing. Why did you enter my room?" "I want to know what you lack," Qin Mo asked calmly. "I don't lack anything. If I lack something, I will naturally tell you." Red 7 felt that being stared at by this person was like being stared at by a venomous snake. She felt uncomfortable all over. "You don't have to guard against me. If I do anything, you can't guard against it. Besides, my first time was taken by you. You have to take some responsibility." "Responsibility? Isn't this my first time? Therefore, we have to be responsible for each other. Sleep early. Good night." Red 7 watched as Qin Mo left. She hurried forward to lock the door before fuming. "Good night, my ass." Seventh Red deeply felt that living on the streets was 100 times safer than living here. After fumbling around the room for a while, Red 7 found her phone and saw a missed call from Luo Luoli. She called back. "Looking for me? You're with Song Hong's President Qin?" Red 7 facepalmed. "Tang Bao, you're actually classmates with President Qin?" "I didn't know about it before." "I don't even know. How do you know?" If Red 7 knew that there would be such a thing, she definitely wouldn't have gone to any banquet. This was simply the worst epic tier banquet. "Are you at home now?" "Yes, at home," Red 7 thought. It's no different from home now, right? Because she was already married to Qin Mo. "All right, I'm still curious. Does President Qin like you?" "You're thinking too much." She always felt that she was here to repay a debt. How'd it look like he liked her? No matter how much Chin Mo smiled at her. Didn't he smile like this to everyone? I'm not thinking too much. Even if he's your classmate, there's a difference between men and women. He wouldn't send you home, right? Then, he would bring you to the company. What kind of place is the company? Why would he casually bring a woman there? Red 7 thought, that's because he wants to lower my guard so that he can drug me. Once she thought about the drug, Red 7 felt that Chin Mo's thoughts were too sinister. Would a normal person do that? Definitely not. Red 7, no matter what your classmate thinks of you, I think you should stay away from him, Luo Lawley said cautiously. Why do you say that? Didn't you hear the rumors? Song Hong is a company that is unscrupulous. Aren't those methods from the CEO? He's as sinister as he can be. In novels, he's a villain. Red 7 asked herself, would she still have a chance to stay away? If Luo Lawley knew that she and Chin Mo had registered their marriage, would he mourn for 3 minutes? Red 7, why aren't you saying anything? Are you unhappy that I said that? No, you're very right. Chin Mo had already drugged her. How could the rumors be false? That's good. Remember what I said. Stay away from him. Do you understand? Luo Lawley was still reminding her. Red 7 nodded repeatedly. In fact, they were all white dots. Anyway, Luo Lawley couldn't see them. She just didn't know how Luo Lawley knew that she would nod and accept. Finally, the phone hung up, and Red 7 fell onto the bed. She felt that Chin Mo had a motive for doing this to her. That night, Red 7 slept very well and woke up early in the morning. She had no choice. She had a biological clock. Even if she was a beggar, she couldn't be lazy. Otherwise, she wouldn't have a future. The villa was really quiet. It was as though she was the only one here. When she approached the dining room, she heard movements in the kitchen and a fragrance wafted out. Who was making breakfast? Just as she thought about this, Red 7 saw Chin Mo, who was wearing a white shirt and black trousers. His sleeves were rolled up, revealing a section of his muscular arms. When Chin Mo saw her, a gentle smile appeared on his face. You're awake? Did you sleep well last night? You made these. Mom said that you like to eat sandwiches, milk, and fried eggs for breakfast. Come and try it and see how I made it, Chin Mo said. Red 7 felt that this wasn't a question of how he made it, right? But how did Chin Mo make it? This made her a little embarrassed. I'm not that particular. You don't have to make it for me. You don't have to feel burdened. From today onwards, I will make breakfast for you every day. You can tell me what you want to eat. Why are you making breakfast for me? Chin Mo smiled. Is this strange? It's normal for a husband to make breakfast for his wife. It wasn't normal, right? Was there a reason for this? Why was he suddenly so good to her? So good that Red 7 didn't know what to say. To be honest, if this was a normal marriage with a husband like Chin Mo, this woman would wake up smiling in her dreams, right? She could earn money when she went out and enter the kitchen at home. Wasn't this what men dreamed of? Chapter 1032. I thought you needed a good morning kiss. I don't need it. Come and eat. Chin Mo didn't mind her bad temper and said in a low and gentle voice. Red 7 sat at the dining table and ate her breakfast. She felt that her actions were a little stiff. Everything was so F***ing weird, especially a man like Chin Mo. She thought the word Luo Lawley gave Chin Mo villain. In other words, Chin Mo was a villain who was a refined scum? Indeed, wasn't the refined scum a villain? She was a righteous person. How could she marry a villain? This was destined to be a tragedy. Looking at Chin Mo eating his breakfast elegantly, Red 7 really couldn't understand what was in this man's mind. Be careful when you shower, don't fall. I've already asked the butler to change the floor in your bathroom to a non-slip one, Chin Mo said elegantly as he ate. Red 7 wanted to nod, thinking that he was very thoughtful, but she felt that something was wrong. She looked up suddenly and asked, How did you know I would fall? Didn't you almost fall when you showered last night? How did you know? Red 7's hair stood on end. There's a listening device in your bathroom. Red 7 was so shocked that the sandwich in her hand fell on the plate in front of her directly. You installed a listening device in my bathroom? I wanted to install a surveillance camera, but I thought that you might feel uncomfortable, so I didn't. Red Seven's mouth trembled a few times. Then she stood up suddenly and slammed the plate on the table. Chinamo, you're a F***king pervert. He actually dared to say such things without changing his expression. More importantly, he really dared to say it. A listening device that didn't mean that he could hear everything, including the sound of her shushing. Chinamo pulled her hand and asked her to sit down, his face still handsome and elegant. How is this pervert? I can't see anything. This person still wanted to see? I am going to smash it. Chinamo let go of her wrist and smiled gently. If you smash it, I'll install a monitoring device. Didn't that mean he could see everything? Take a bath while another person watches? Even though Red 7 was fearless, she was still frightened by Chinmo's thoughts. This person was definitely a scum. Chinamo, I want to know. You used to look normal in university. How did you become so abnormal? 7 asked as though she had seen a ghost. Do I look abnormal now? 7 looked at Chinmo carefully. To be honest, such a rich gentleman was too outstanding. She couldn't find any flaws in his face or figure. There was nothing abnormal about it. He was a handsome guy that everyone liked. However, there was something wrong with him. Could it be that Chinmo had been an abnormal student when he was still a student? Or Red 7 thought of something and asked in horror, "Don't tell me that you become a little twisted after I forced a kiss on you." If that was the case, was she reaping what she had sown? Or had he committed a grave sin? You're right. That's exactly the case, Chinmo replied. So it turned out that he had committed grave sins. Your grave sins can be repaid with the rest of your life. F***CK. Chinmo, why don't you just call yourself a beast? Red 7 was so angry that she almost jumped up. What's the problem? Don't tell me you think that the rest of your life is just your body? Red 7's eyes froze slightly. Wasn't it? You can put it that way. After all, the rest of your life includes your lower body. Come to my company and be my personal assistant. Chinmo requested. Do you think that's possible? I'd rather be a beggar. Red 7 refused immediately. She didn't even want to think about it. I remember that you studied business management. Although it's been vacant for many years, I believe in your ability, Chinmo said. Red 7's expression changed slightly. She didn't say anything. Also, if you come to my side, it will be very helpful for your friend's career, Chinmo said. You mean Tang? Tanggu. She almost blurted it out as Tang Bao. Yes, she doesn't need my help. You should know that she has T behind her, right? These are two different things. If she is willing to let T help, the entertainment industry might be her world. She seems to prefer to rely on her own ability. You are her friend and also her ability. It has nothing to do with T. If you help her, it will be different, Chinmo said. Red 7 hesitated. It seemed to make sense. Besides, beggars aren't allowed to exist in D-City now. It isn't good to have beggars in such a prosperous city. Red 7 sneered. You even married a beggar. Isn't that worse? This is called having a big family before having a small family. Chinmo chuckled elegantly. No, I won't go no matter what. All right, I understand. Chinmo didn't force her. Chinmo didn't force her and agreed easily. This made Red 7 unsure of him. Was this person all talk? Or is he all talk? Zhao Shijin handed over the list of actors for the next movie, Palace. Usually, the CEO wouldn't ask about the actors. Instead, in their company, actors with bad records wouldn't be used. This was something everyone knew and wouldn't commit. The CEO was just looking at the framework. However, Zhao Shijin felt that Chinmo was looking at the list for too long. Was there something wrong with this batch of actors? Chengju, change it. That's Ibao Studio. The contract hasn't been signed yet. Tanggu will come over to sign it today. Then there's no need to sign it. Zhao Shijin didn't know how to speak. Did Chinmo know about the person behind Tanggu? If he didn't know, shouldn't he remind him now? I know he has T behind him, but I think I'm just doing my job. Of course, even if T knows, he won't say anything. Doing his job? Why didn't Zhao Shijin feel that way? Wei saw Zhao Shijin standing there motionless. He looked up and asked, "Is there anything else?" And no, Zhao Shijin left the office. He still didn't understand why Chinamo did this. Why didn't he change anyone but Chengju? Chengju acted as a pure and talented concubine in palace. In the end, she was trapped in the cold palace and committed suicide. What did this have to do with Qin Mo changing actors? His assistant ran over. Boss Zhao, I'm not deaf. Zhao Shijin didn't look too good. He felt that it was difficult to tell Tang Gu about this. Chapter 1033. Which Mr. Tang? Helping idealism? Was President Zhao stupid? Mr. Tang Gu, the one you're going to sign the contract with today. Zhao Shijin slapped his head. Why was he here so soon? He wanted to call him to tell him, so that he wouldn't make a wasted trip. Zhao Shijin went to the office. He had to face this sooner or later. He always felt that this was the most stressful thing to do. In the meeting room, Tang Gu was already waiting at the table. Zhao Shijin pushed the door open and entered. Mr. Tang, I'm sorry for making you wait. I had something to do just now. Tang Gu turned and saw Zhao Shijin. You just arrived. You didn't wait long. He saw the list of actors in Zhao Shijin's hands. It wasn't the contract. Zhao Shijin sat down and asked, Is Chengju's only drama Palace recently? Indeed, because I didn't want her to take on anything else. When Mr. Zhao told me about Palace, I thought that Chengju had acted in such dramas before, so I let her act in it. Besides, the role is suitable for her. Yes. I told you that back then. She is indeed suitable. Zhao Shijin nodded. Tang Bao looked at Zhao Shijin. Although Zhao Shijin agreed, he didn't seem to have any intention of showing her the list of actors. Obviously, Zhao Shijin didn't come out of his own office. Only the investors or his boss, CEO Qin, could make him personally go to a place. When she came, the assistant said that Zhao Shijin was in the office. This meant that he went to see Mr. Qin before coming to see her. Was there something wrong with the list of actors? Mr. Zhao, if you have something to say, just say it to me. I can accept it, Tang Bao said. How about this? Let Chengju change to another role. If we invest in the next drama, we'll consider Chengju first. How about it? Chengju is a talent among the actresses, Zhao Shijin said. Tang Bao thought that, as expected, there was a problem. This is Mr. Qin's idea? Tang Bao asked. Zhao Shijin didn't hide it and asked, Did Chengju offend Mr. Qin? It couldn't be Bao because there was tea. Tang Bao was puzzled by this question. With Chengju's personality, why would he offend Qin Mo? I don't think that's possible. Tang Bao didn't need to ask to be sure. That's strange. When President Qin first saw the list of actors, he said that it would be Ju. I don't believe that he didn't offend anyone. Zhao Shijin said in confusion. Tang Bao felt strange. Could it be that he guessed wrongly? President Zhao, can you postpone this role for a while? I want to see what went wrong, Tang Bao asked. Of course, that's fine with me. Zhao Shijin said. But if CEO Qin still wants to replace me in the end, there's nothing I can do. Understood. I still have to thank President Zhao for this matter. Don't mention it. It's nothing. Although Tang Bao didn't think Chengju would offend Qin Mo, she thought she might be wrong. Then he called Chengju. Brother Tang. Let me ask you, do you know Canghong CEO Qin Mo? Tang Bao asked. Didn't I see him at the banquet last time? I don't know him. We didn't even talk. What's wrong? Nothing. I'm just asking you. If there's nothing else, I'm hanging up. After Tang Bao hung up the phone, he was reminded of the word banquet by Chengju. If they were to talk about knowing Qin Mo, wouldn't Red 7 know him better? At the banquet, in Canghong's company, Luo Luoli even said that Qin Mo sent Red 7 back on the night of the banquet. For some reason, Tang Bao felt that Chengju's replacement had something to do with Red 7. Tang Bao called Luo Luoli and Red 7 again and asked them to come out for dinner. If they ate outside, they definitely had to report to the person at home. Otherwise, it would become scary again. Hey, is Di Haoyan busy? You're not allowed to eat outside. Before Tang Bao could say anything, Di Haoyan had already seen through her and killed her forcefully. This man's depth was too scary. He actually knew what she was going to say next. I have something to deal with. I'll be back after dinner. Why don't you tell me yourself? I'll look for you after dinner, or do you want me to stay outside for the entire afternoon? You know how to catch my weakness. Are you willing or not? Threatening him through the phone was more courageous than facing him face to face. I'll be back after dinner. Okay. Tang Bao, who hung up the phone, heaved a sigh of relief. She felt that the last sentence Di Haoyin said would make her scalp tingle. However, she still couldn't go back now. She had to see Red 7 and solve the matter. She would pacify him when she went back. Tang Bao and Luo Luoli arrived first. Tang Bao asked, Red 7 should be faster than you, right? I thought she would be the first to arrive. In the past, she would arrive first, but not now. Why? Did she change her begging position? Don't you know? D-City doesn't allow beggars to reproduce now. Beggars are not allowed to exist anywhere. That's why Red 7 has a place to sleep on streets. That's why she went home, Luo Loli said helplessly. I really didn't know that. It's okay, let's wait. Tang Bao thought of something and asked again, Did you call Red 7 later? Yes, I did. Did she say anything? I was the one who said it. I told her to stay away from Qin and Mo. I was afraid that Red 7 would be at a disadvantage. Don't judge her by her fearless and carefree personality. In fact, she's very fragile inside. Moreover, no matter how smart she is, if she meets a villain like Qin and Mo, she'll be at a disadvantage. Villain? Tang Bao was amused by her description. Yes. The key is that this villain has the appearance of a gentleman. It's easy for people to let their guard down. Tang Bao didn't dare to say anything good about Qin and Mo because everyone in the entertainment industry knew Song Hong's way of doing things. He was really no different from a villain. Sorry, I'm late. Red 7 ran over hurriedly. Did you wait long? No. Anyway, I'm not in a hurry. Are you hungry? Why don't we order now? Anyway, we have to wait, Tang Bao said. The three of them agreed unanimously and ordered their favorite dishes. Just as they finished ordering, Tang Bao's text message rang. She wondered if it was a text from Di Haoyin. It shouldn't be, right? She had already said that she would go back after eating. However, there was always something that she didn't expect. It was really a text from Di Haoyin. The words on the text carried a strong aura. Give me the exact time you'll be back. Tang Bao, are you busy? If you're busy, you can go ahead. I can go back to my own office first. Di Haoyin, I'm not busy. I just want to know the approximate time. Chapter 1034. This person's desire for control was really abnormally strong. Tang Bao didn't want to care about his desire for control at all. He was about to reply that he wasn't sure. Di Haoyin's message came again. I don't like to wait without time. I'm afraid you won't come back. Tang Bao's fingers trembled and his heart ached. I'm afraid you won't come back. Was this the after effect of Di Haoyin's 3 years of separation? He said, I don't like to wait without time, but Tang Bao read it as I'm afraid of waiting without time. Tang Bao didn't hesitate and sent him the confirmed time. Only then did the phone stop ringing. Tang Bao felt that she was about to be tied up by Di Haoyin's 3 years. It was as if she couldn't bear to let him do whatever he wanted as soon as he showed signs of that. She knew that there might be some intentional elements in it, but she still went along with his wishes. It was as if the 3 years of separation were her fault. After putting away her phone, she saw Luo Luoli in Red 7 smiling meaningfully. Why are you looking like this? Tang Bao tugged at the corners of his mouth and smiled uncomfortably. It's the young emperor's message, right? Don't deny it. I can tell from your expression, Luo Luoli said. What expression? She remembered that she didn't have any expression when she replied to the message. Deep affection. Tang Bao took a sip of his cup and didn't care about their poor eyesight. He changed the topic. I ran out for dinner today because I'm in a bad mood. You have to comfort me. Otherwise, Luoli will treat you to a meal. Huh? Why should I treat you to a meal? Luo Luoli wailed in confusion. Why don't you have money? That's impossible. Gu Linshan doesn't look like a stingy person. How could he not give you pocket money? Tang Bao said. Otherwise, if he's really so stingy with you, I'll help you vent your anger. Forget it. No need. Luo Luoli hurriedly stopped him. Of course, Gu Linshan would give her money to spend. If she asked Tang Bao to look for Gu Linshin, what if Gu Linshin gave her money to spend? How could you be so wasteful? Malay said you were stingy, and you really are stingy. Hong Chi smiled and asked Tang Bao, why are you in a bad mood? You seem to be in a good mood. It's all about Song Hong's casting. They've already confirmed Chung Ju. I went to sign a contract today, but they told me that there was a last-minute change. Don't you think it's infuriating? I was wondering if Chung Ju had offended President Qin. Tang Bao deliberately said in a strange tone. Red Seven's expression changed slightly. Song Hong said today that he wants to replace Chung Ju. That's right. That President Qin is your classmate. Could it be that he knows that we're close and is deliberately making things difficult for us? Red 7, have you ever offended President Qin before? After all, I heard that he's a very vengeful person. Tang Bao deliberately asked Red 7. Hong Chi's heart skipped a beat. She tried to hide it. No way. When would I have the time to offend him? Besides, although we knew each other when we were studying, we were so close. It's not like I've offended him. However, in her heart, she was scolding Qin Mo as a beast. She was wondering why he had agreed so readily when she wasn't willing to be his personal assistant at the dining table this morning. So he was waiting for her here to trip her up. I think so too. Even if you offended him, he should be the one to settle the score with you. He can't reach so far. Tang Bao held his cup and thought to himself. Hong Chi felt very guilty. Did this mean that Tang Bao still didn't know Qin Mo well? Because Qin Mo was the kind of person who would stretch his reach that far. So Hong Chi, you can't forget what I said to you that day. Luo Lolly interrupted. What? Hong Chi was thinking about her own matters and didn't realize what Luo Lolly was talking about. Stay away from Qin Mo. Hong Chi's heart twitched. What was the use of staying away now? They'd already gotten their marriage certificate. Hong Chi, are you okay? Why do I feel that there's something wrong with your expression? Hong Chi looked at Luo Luoli. Was it so obvious? But she felt that this matter couldn't be hidden for long. Besides, the more she hid it, the more suspicious it would seem to others. Moreover, she didn't want to fight alone. This kind of hesitant behavior didn't belong to Zhang Hongqi. There were two things in Zhang Hongqi's life that left a shadow in her heart. One was Yao Bin's cancellation of the engagement at the engagement party. The second was that she was married to Qin Mo. Actually, Qin Mo and I are already married. Luo Luoli choked on the water in his mouth, and his face turned red. Hongqi didn't care whether Luo Luoli choked to death or not. She grabbed Tang Bao's hand, which was in shock, as though she was grabbing onto a piece of driftwood. Tang Bao, you can leave Chung Ju's matter to me. But can I ask you, even if I don't beg you, to help me with something else? You say it. Tang Bao was still in a daze. Is there any way for me to stay away from Qin Mo? Hong Chi asked sincerely. Tang Bao was stunned. After Hong Chi finished her sentence, he silently withdrew his hand from Hong Chi's grip, as though he wanted to keep a distance from Hong Chi. What do you mean? Hong Chi didn't understand. Luo Luoli, who had recovered, explained on behalf of Tang Bao. It means that I don't want to get involved. Hong Chi, are you kidding me? How did you get married to Qin Mo? I even told you to stay away from him. When did this happen? That afternoon when you called me. We want to get our marriage certificate. Luo Luoli looked at Hong Chi in disbelief. Then, she could only say, what do you want me to say about you? How can you blame me? I have his King bed photo. Hong Chi was furious. She even looked around to see if anyone heard her. Tang Bao. Luo Luoli. Don't look at me like that. Qin Mo was the one who raped me. Red 7 spilled the beans. Luo Luoli. Tang Bao. Anyway, the two of them were shocked again. Tang Bao was even more shocked. There was actually such a thing? Luo Luoli seemed to be worried that Tang Bao wouldn't understand, so she explained to her. In the past, when Hong Chi was at the peak of her career as a beggar, she slept under a bridge at night. Just like that, she was raped by a drunk man. Unexpectedly, not long after she got raped the first time, she was raped the second time. The second time, she didn't drink. She was sober. Hong Chi didn't smell any alcohol. I thought it was a crime. I didn't expect this to happen. Tang Bao was also stunned when he heard this. Then, he gave Red 7 a thumbs up. Should I say that your psychological endurance is strong, or that President Qin likes this kind of thing? Raping a beggar under a bridge, this. Chapter 1035. Tang Bao continued. Then it's even more impossible for others to help you. Why? Aren't you going to help your friend when she's in trouble? Red 7 asked in disagreement. Then is this trouble? Luo Luoli said. Why isn't it? Would I tell you if it wasn't me? Red 7 was still very angry about this matter. Tang Bao said, think about it. Since it was premeditated, they must have taken precautions. Isn't it said that Song Hong's company system is very despicable and shameless? This means that CEO Qin is not easy to deal with, unless you're more shameless and sinister than him. Also, it's better to tear down 10 temples than to break a marriage. We don't want to be punished by the heavens. That's true, but if you're forced into a marriage, then it won't be a good marriage. You've helped me, so God will definitely reward you. Red 7 said with certainty. She almost patted her chest and promised. It was as if she and God were brothers. I won't do it. Tang Bao refused. I won't do it either. Luo Luoli also refused. Red 7. It's not easy to interfere in the first place. Red 7, think about it. How can we help you? We can't run to CEO Qin and tell him to divorce Red 7, right? You won't be happy if you snatch things by force. Will CEO Qin blacklist me and Tang Bao from now on and stab us in the back for no reason? Don't forget, Ibao Studio and Song Hong are still partners. Also, have you forgotten what Tang Bao said just now? Shengju's matter was obviously done by CEO Qin for you to see. I think in order not to implicate others, you should go back and talk to CEO Qin properly. The two of you can fight, don't implicate others. Also, I'm also a scriptwriter of Ibao Studio. I'm counting on you. Loli Luo said a long string of words with a heavy heart. Red 7 was stunned, speechless. After all this time, not only did they not help her, they even had to reconcile with Qin Mo. If they didn't reconcile, it would be her fault if anything happened to Ibao Studio. She regretted telling them. Not only did he not help, he even made things worse. Red 7 noticed that Luo Luoli was staring at her without blinking and asked, "What are you looking at?" Giving advice is the most important thing. I actually feel a sense of relief for marrying you off. Marrying President Qin, this should be a good ending, right? Luo Luoli said. Weren't you the ones who said he was treacherous, despicable, and shameless? Crimson 7 questioned. Well, there's definitely a good side to it. It's just that we won't be able to see it. Right, Tang Bao? Luo Luoli asked Tang Bao with a smile. Tang Bao nodded. You're absolutely right. And there were many benefits. If 7th Red is CEO Song Hong's wife now, will I be the first to get whatever resources I want in the future? Red 7 was speechless. After Red 7 finished his meal, he prepared to go to Song Hong. Most importantly, Tang Bao and Luo Luoli didn't go back to their own homes and kept following her. Tang Bao meant that she and Luo Luoli were waiting downstairs for her to solve the problem. Was he sure he wasn't joking? But she had no choice. Red 7 couldn't possibly call Qin Mo in front of them, right? She didn't even know Qin Mo's. Red 7, who was fiddling with her phone, realized that an unknown number had appeared in her phone. The caller ID was, my baby. Huh? What baby did she have? She was still a baby herself. Red 7, who was waiting at the elevator door, tried to call him, and it really went through. Hello? Looking for me? Qin Mo's voice came through clearly. Red 7's thoughts froze for a moment. Qin Mo? Why do I have your number in my phone? Red 7 asked. I saved it. When did you save it? Red 7 didn't remember Qin Mo saving his number in front of her. Last night when I went to your room, you were asleep, so I saved it myself. Red 7 flew into a rage. She kicked the ashtray beside her, scaring the soul out of the person who just came out of the elevator. He thought that there was an accident in the elevator. What's wrong? Qin Mo asked with a strange tone. Strange? Red 7 should be the one who felt strange. okay? My door was locked. How did you get in? Chin Mo went in without a doubt. But how did he get in? Spare key. So you're the one who saved my baby? I hope I'm different in your heart. This only proves that our relationship is unusual. Red 7 entered the elevator with a sinister expression. She wanted to let Chin Mo know what unusual meant. What kind of violence would he suffer if he provoked her? F***. She used violence when she was a bully in school. Very good. Chin Mo was very good. He made her return to her violent side in school. Red 7 kicked open Chin Mo's office door and opened it with a bang. Their phones were still connected. Chin Mo's phone was pressed against his ear. He frowned slightly, as if he didn't see the anger on Red 7's face. Close friend, you're too rude. I'll let you know what it means to be rude right now. Red 7 threw her phone and bag to the side. She rushed towards Chin Mo and punched him in the face. Red 7 climbed over the desk and pounced on Chin Mo. The two of them rolled on the ground, but her punches didn't stop. Chin Mo didn't fight back. His face was punched a few times. Red 7's last punch landed on Chin Mo's stomach. Chin Mo groaned and laid flat on the ground. It seemed that he wouldn't fight back even if Red 7 punched him again. Why didn't you fight back? Red 7 felt like she was bullying him. Even when they fought in school, there was no one who didn't fight back. I don't like to fight. Was that a reason? Why would he be beaten if he didn't like to fight? What kind of logic was that? On the surface, he was beaten up and bullied by her, but Red 7 knew very well that she was at a disadvantage. But Red 7 didn't admit defeat. I don't like to fight, but it depends on who the other party is and what happened. What happened? Chin Mo looked as if he didn't know anything. Red 7 was so angry that she wanted to punch him again. Firstly, you entered my room without permission. Secondly, Chungju's incident. Firstly, you're my wife. It's fine that we didn't sleep on the same bed, but why can't I enter your room? That doesn't make sense. Secondly, I did Chungju's incident on purpose. Red 7's chest heaved up and down. She was angry. She glared at Chin Mo. She didn't know what expression to use to treat this person. It wasn't strange that Chin Mo knew how to play tricks. What was strange was that this person could admit it so calmly. He didn't hide it at all. Red 7 had never come into contact with such a pervert. Chin Mo was definitely the founder of perverts. Chapter 1036. MH, what if I'm not willing? Nothing much. Just cancel the collaboration with iBow Studio. I'll be your assistant. Okay. Red 7 shouted angrily. Her face was red from shouting, but her eyes were shining strangely. It was so bright that Chin Mo's gaze froze slightly, flowing with colorful luster. Red 7 didn't notice the change in Chin Mo's gaze. She just wondered why Chin Mo didn't speak. But before she could ask why he was silent, she noticed the change in his body. Red 7 looked up in disbelief and looked at Chin Mo. Chin Mo's skin was very white, so white that it was glowing. Hence, Red 7 could see the redness on his face. Red 7 wanted to get up and fly into a rage, but her waist was held down by a pair of hands. The office door was pushed open directly. The secretary saw a rough woman sitting on top of him, lying on the floor. Most importantly, his CEO looked like he was enjoying it. If he wasn't enjoying it, why wasn't he resisting? Couldn't he resist a woman? CEO, are you okay? The secretary asked with uncertainty. I'm fine. The person sitting on top of me is my newly hired personal assistant, Zhang Hongqi, Chin Mo said calmly. It was as though he was sitting behind his desk and talking to his secretary about work. Ah, yes, Assistant Zhang. Hello, I'm CEO's secretary, Chin Tai. F***CK. I don't have the time to introduce myself. She wanted to stand up, because she realized that even though this secretary was here, Chin Mo's reaction was getting more and more serious. And Chin Mo's face was still red. What the F***CK? But Chin Mo's hand was on her waist. Her legs couldn't move at all. She was so angry that she gritted her teeth, wanted to bite Chin Mo to death. Cover my embarrassment. Embarrassment? Red 7 looked at Chin Mo curiously. She asked him silently, do you know what embarrassment is? If you knew, You wouldn't be so rude in front of your secretary. Aren't you going to introduce yourself? Chin Mo asked. Then can I get up? Red 7 asked, suppressing her anger. Didn't you say you don't want to get up? Chin Mo was puzzled. Red 7 looked at Chin Mo's innocent face and then at her secretary, who was looking at her with an unreadable gaze. Red 7 knew that Chin Mo's hand was blocked by the office table beside her. With Chin Mo's acting skills, the secretary would only think that she had insulted their President Chin. As expected of Tsang Hong's boss, Chin Mo's acting skills had fooled everyone. Hello, I'm Zhang Hongqi. Please take care of me in the future. If Zhang Hongqi hadn't said that, she was sure that Chin Mo would have kept his secretary here. I don't dare, I don't dare. The secretary looked at her bold and unrestrained movements and really didn't dare to advise her. I might even need you to put in a good word for me in front of President Chin. Red 7 asked with a fake smile. CEO Chin, can you ask your secretary to leave first? The secretary is very busy and has her own things to do. So impatient. Just as Red 7 was stunned by his words, she heard Chin Mo's voice appear again. He instructed his secretary, go out first. The secretary had long wanted to run away, but it was too late now. She turned around and disappeared, closing the door behind her. Then, she ran out and ordered that no one was allowed to enter the CEO's office. Originally, she had heard the news that the CEO might have been attacked by a woman. Who knew that she would see that scene as soon as she entered? What kind of attack was this? Once the secretary went out, Red 7 jumped up as if she had touched a hot potato. When her gaze landed on a certain spot, she quickly turned away. There were two people sitting idly in the hall, Tang Bao and Luo Luoli, who were drinking water and chatting. Luo Luoli said, I think I have to change my opinion of President Chin. Why do you say that? You must be as curious as me why Red 7, who is highly educated, would become a beggar, right? Indeed, either she wants to experience life, or she was provoked by something. Obviously, she is the latter. Also, Red 7 told me before that she would never get married in her life. She would kill any man who dared to marry her. Luo Luoli was still thinking about how shocked she was when she heard such words. Although women didn't have to get married, there was still a faint hatred in Red 7's words. Hatred for marriage. It's very obvious that President Chin won't be killed by her. Do you think President Chin's methods are the same as my little uncle's? Forced to marry? Of course. You said that Red 7 was unwilling to get married, so she was forced to do this. As for the method, even if it's not the same as your little uncle's, it's not far off, Tang Bao said with certainty. Then do you think President Chin will treat Red 7 well? I hope that President Chin doesn't care what the outside world thinks of him as long as he treats Red 7 well, Luo Luoli said expectantly. If it's not good, I'll get Di Hao Ian to kill him, Tang Bao said. Really? Luo Luoli was excited. Really? Tang Bao, I realize that you've been with young Master Di for too long. It's a little bloody, Luo Luoli said with slight worry. Tang Bao put down the teacup in his hand. I'm not going to talk to you anymore. I'll call Red 7 and see how the matter is settled. If it's settled, sign the contract. You don't have to come again. She wasn't very willing to make another trip. The atmosphere in the office was returning to normal when Red 7's phone rang. Red 7 was about to answer the call when Chin Mo adjusted his wrinkled suit jacket. I'll go and tell them. Then, before Red 7 could understand why he wanted to go, Chin Mo had already opened the office door and left. Tang Bao hung up the phone. Luo Luoli asked, what's wrong? You're not picking up? Yes, I'm not picking up. Then what is she doing? Did Chin Mo kill her? Luo Luoli asked worriedly. I don't think so. Tang Bao looked ahead. Why? Then, Luo Luoli saw the tall and sturdy Chin Mo walking out of the elevator towards them. Tang Bao and Luo Luoli stood up. Just as they were about to greet him, they saw that Chin Mo's face was bruised. Tang Bao and Luo Luoli's greeting was slightly stiff. Hello, CEO Chin. Hello, CEO Chin. Hello. Chin Mo smiled gently. I'm sorry. Chengju's incident was a misunderstanding. I've already told CEO Zhao. You can go and sign a contract with him now. This. Okay. Tang Bao pointed at the bruise on Qin Mo's face and asked deliberately, CEO Qin, are you okay? Qin Mo touched it and said with a smile, Red 7 beat me up. Tang Bao. Luo Luoli. Chapter 1037. Let's go, Qin Mo said nonchalantly. Okay. Tang Bao asked Luo Luoli, what about you? I have to go back. I won't go upstairs. It's okay. You're the scriptwriter of Love Bao Studio. It's normal for you to work with Boss Tang. Qin Mo invited her. Then okay. Luo Luoli looked at the bruises on Qin Mo's face. She was still in shock. After they went upstairs, Qin Mo separated from them. Tang Bao and Luo Luoli went to Zhao Shijin's office by themselves. Luo Luoli grabbed Tang Bao's hand. What is Qin Mo trying to do? Why didn't Red 7 come down? Why did Boss Qin come down? Tang Bao thought for a while and smiled. What are you smiling about? I think Boss Qin did it on purpose. What do you mean? He purposely let us see the bruises on his face. He's telling us that he and Red 7 will only get beaten up and bullied. He will never bully Red 7. Luo Luoli was shocked. That's what he meant. F***, he's so scheming. This way, we won't have to worry about Red 7 being bullied by him. Instead, when we see Boss Qin being beaten up, we'll think that he's a man who loves his wife so much that he doesn't even fight back. He'll let Red 7 be someone else's wife. So, do you understand? What a scheming man. Red 7 is such a carefree person. I don't know who to pity. Don't worry. At least, Boss Qin isn't someone who is willing to be beaten up. What do you think? That's what I mean. After Tang Bao signed the contract, he left the company hurriedly. She bluntly told Luo Luoli to take a taxi back. She didn't have time to send him back. She was racing against time. She got into the car and asked the driver to drive off. Luo Luoli stood at the entrance of the company and watched in shock as the car sped away. There was a puff of smoke behind it. Why did he look like he was being chased by a wolf? When he was discussing the contract with Zhao Shijin, the calmness he displayed was simply incomparable. Luo Luoli immediately understood why Tang Bao was in such a hurry. After lunch, the tea executives were having a meeting. They didn't know what was going on either. There was clearly nothing going on, so why did he say that there would be a meeting in the afternoon when it was almost lunchtime? The higher-ups were so scared that they thought something important had happened. At this moment, a group of senior executives were sitting in the conference room, analyzing and reporting T's latest assessment. The atmosphere was solemn. Di Haoyan was sitting in the seat of honor. The expression on his face was cold and calm, and his eyes were sharp and deep. His long and coarse fingers tapped on the table with a sense of nervousness. He seemed to be listening to the reports of his subordinates. In reality, he was calculating the time. As for today's meeting, he just wanted to speed up time. But it was still so unbearable. When will the Tang Bao come back? There were still 5 minutes left. Could she appear in front of him on time? If she didn't appear, he would definitely punish her. When the Tang Bao arrived at the door of the highest authority's office, he saw the secretary nodding slightly at him, then turned around and went into the conference room. Di Haoyan was having a meeting? If she had known, she would have come later. After the secretary entered the conference room, before he could say anything to the Di Haoyan's dark eyes flashed with a restrained light. He raised his hand slightly and stopped the person below the stage from continuing to speak. The meeting is adjourned. The person who spoke was instantly stunned. The others also looked at each other. They watched as Di Haoyan strode out of the conference room. Vice President Zhou, what's wrong with the young master? Why did the meeting end all of a sudden? Did I say something wrong? The senior executive who was stopped from speaking asked Zhou Jisen worriedly. Zhou Jisen smiled slightly. It's okay. The young master probably has something else to do. It must be the Tang Bao who came. In the future, you just need to be calm about such things. The young master won't blame anyone. Di Junbai only listened and didn't say anything. With a faint smile on his face, he turned around and left the conference room. However, when he saw Di Haoyan's tightly shut office door from afar, the smile on his face disappeared. In the office, it should be the Tang Bao. The sinking feeling in his heart tugged at his internal organs. It was very uncomfortable, but his face was slightly restrained. Tang Bao was pressed against the door and kissed forcefully. Di Hao Ian was as urgent and intense as if he hadn't kissed her for hundreds of years. He only let go of her when she was about to suffocate. Then, she heard Di Hao Ian's domineering and deep voice in her buzzing head. Why did it take so long? Did it? The time was just right. Tang Bao's eyes were glistening, and she panted heavily as she spoke intermittently. It was over by a minute. Di Hao Ian's thin lips moved forward and kissed her beautiful blurred eyes. Tang Bao closed her eyes and felt the warmth seeping into her eyelids. This feeling was like the sweet feeling of being taken care of to the extreme. It was as if she was going to faint from the smell. Why aren't you saying anything? Di Hao Ian's oppressive voice came with a hint of danger. Her thin lips left her eyes, and her eyelashes were long and slightly lifted. She met Di Hao Ian's possessive black eyes. Her breathing was much steadier than before, but her face was still so red. 1 minute counts? There are 60 seconds in 1 minute. How can it not count? Where did you go in the middle? Tang Bao cursed in her heart. This person's concept of time was too strong, wasn't it? However, it seemed that Di Hao Ian was very calculative in this aspect and had no concept of time at all. For example, when he was doing that kind of thing, anyway, he had the final say in everything. He was so domineering and abominable. Tang Bao was surrounded by her strong chest and the door, and she had some difficulty breathing. After all, Di Hao Ian's oppression was not that easy to bear. She squatted down and escaped to the side before saying, I went to Tsang Hong to sign the contract. It was already very fast. It wouldn't have taken that long even if you had to sign the contract. Di Hao Ian's expression was cold. Luo Luoli was there too. The CEO of Tsang Hong seems to be Red 7's classmate. Anyway, they thought it was interesting, so they stayed there for a while. Are you going to settle this with me too? Tang Bao looked at Di Hao Ian with a slightly coquettish expression. Di Hao Ian looked at her cute expression and did not say anything else. He only said, don't exceed the time limit next time. Okay. Tang Bao agreed with a smile. However, when Di Hao Ian's sharp black eyes looked at her, she still felt a little guilty. She could only smile foolishly and muddle through. On Chengju's first day on set, Tang Bao also went with him. When Tang Bao went, Meng Shi insisted on going as well. He said that he could not let Tang Ge favor Chengju too much. He was afraid that Chengju would secretly bewitch Tang Ge. He really dared to say it out loud. The director was Wang Zhu. Chapter 1038. She had been completely packaged as another person. When she signed the contract with Zhao Shijin, she had already seen the name Mia on the cast list. She was not the female lead, but she was still an extremely important and colorful character. She was a villain's concubine. According to the plot, the villain she was playing would only receive her lunchbox at the end. Based on her relationship with Wang Zhu, even if she wanted to be the female lead, Tang Bao felt that it would not be a problem. But now, she was actually the second female lead. However, this kind of thing was hard to say. If she acted well, it was not uncommon for the second female lead to steal the limelight from the female lead. I feel that if I look at this face again, my first love's face will become a psychological trauma, Meng Shi said in disgust. Isn't your first love your favorite? Tang Bao asked. She's insulting my first love. Meng Shi really wanted to go forward and tear off Mia's fake face. I'm thinking that her original body must be very ugly. Otherwise, why would she do plastic surgery? And she even chose such a good-looking face. Tang Bao looked at Mia, who was surrounded by other small-time actors who were flattering her and laughing happily. He said, of course we'll choose a good-looking face for plastic surgery. Don't tell me we'll choose an ugly one. Tang Bao thought to himself, does this mean that I'm very good-looking and recognized by others? Should I be happy then? To be honest, it was quite strange to always look at such a face. However, There was no need to be calculative when there were similar faces in this world. She could not really tear off Mia's face. Go, she looks like you. Shouldn't you be angry? I'm not angry. Why not? I can't stand it anymore. Meng, she stomped her feet. Your first love looks like me. Should I be angry too? Tang Bao asked back. Meng, she was speechless. Tang Bao was originally looking into the distance. Thinking of something, he turned to face Cheng Ju and said, I know your personality. You're not someone who likes to cause trouble and meddle in other people's business. But if something happens to make things difficult for you, you must tell me. Cheng Ju asked, What kind of trouble will there be? I'm talking about Mia. Cheng Ju glanced at Mia and asked, Why is she making things difficult for me? I don't have a grudge against her, do I? I hope I'm overthinking. I just want you to be on your guard. Cheng Ju was definitely not as scheming as Mia. If something really happened, Cheng Ju would definitely be at a disadvantage. However, Tang Bao knew that based on Cheng Ju's character, she would rather swallow her anger and hide it from him. So when she left, she took advantage of Cheng Ju's filming to pull over the assistant that she had assigned to Cheng Ju and said, If Cheng Ju gets bullied on set, just call me directly. You don't have to ask Cheng Ju, okay? Comrade Xiaoluo immediately nodded. Okay. Rest assured, President Tang. Later on, Xiao Luo said that the two of them had 1 or 2 scenes together, but there was no conflict. It seemed like Mia was not a difficult person to talk to on set. Tang Bao knew that Mia was not a difficult person to talk to. She liked to keep her bad ideas to herself. He liked to put on a superficial show. Needless to say, everyone in the crew liked her very much. Tang Bao used to like her very much too. As long as Tang Bao did not need to go out, she would appear very early in Di Haoyan's office, scrolling through her phone while waiting for food. She was like a lazy cat waiting to be fed. The office door was pushed open and Di Haoyan, who had just finished handling T's affairs, walked in. His tall figure carried a strong aura. Tang Bao looked at him. His shadow covered her and her lips were kissed. Then, his deep and vast black eyes stared at her closely. What do you think we should call going out for dinner? Going out for dinner? What should we call it? Tang Bao was stumped. It's called a date. Di Haoyan's voice was low and hoarse. Tang Bao's face heated up slightly, and she nodded. Okay, I want to eat delicious food. Is delicious food more important than me? Tang Bao knew what Di Haoyan wanted to hear, so she shook her head and tried to pacify him. No matter how delicious the food is, it depends on who you're eating with, right? If I'm eating with someone else, it definitely won't be as delicious as eating with you. Di Haoyan knew that she was trying to pacify him, so his eyes lit up. He rested his forehead against hers and said in a low and hoarse voice, Why don't we eat it, T? Why did you change your mind again? Tang Bao's face heated up. I can save time and overwhelm you. Tang Bao did not want to. She said, I want to go out for dinner, and then you could go shopping with me. Okay. Di Haoyan agreed. In the afternoon, Tang Bao followed Di Haoyan out for dinner. Naturally, they ordered her favorite delicacies. Di Haoyan did not seem to be extravagant and wasteful at all. He ordered a portion of every dish and did not mind if she could not finish them. Tang Bao definitely could not finish all of them. She could only eat 1 or 2 mouthfuls of each portion before she stuffed herself to the brim. She was already used to Di Haoyan's wastefulness, so it was useless to stop him. He looked as if he wanted her to finish all of the dishes. I'm stuffed. I'm not eating anymore. When it's time to eat, one will regret not having enough food. When it's time to eat, one will regret not having enough food. That's how it feels. Tang Bao lay on the soft sofa with her eyes closed, looking as if she had eaten her fill. Di Haoyan looked at her lazy appearance, and his dark eyes could not help but focus on her. As if looking at her like this was not enough, he pulled her into his strong arms. Stop fooling around. You're not full yet. I won't be full no matter how much I eat. Looking at you will only make me hungrier. Di Haoyan looked at her with his dark eyes that were as deep and vast as a dangerous universe that wanted to swallow her whole. How could Tang Bao not understand what he meant? Her face flushed red as she thumped his chest. Just eating a meal can make you think so much. If T's people knew that the dignified and indifferent young Master D was actually a big pervert who could not stop eating, they would be very disappointed. Do you think that they would think that we were discussing work when no one was allowed to enter the office in the afternoon? Although Tang Bao knew that this was the truth, she felt that she could not face anyone after hearing Di Haoyin's words. She could not help but bury her head into Di Haoyin's broad chest. You'll be responsible. Of course. I'll be responsible until the end. Tang Bao raised her head to look at Di Haoyin and expressed her doubts. Your responsibility is definitely different from what I thought. You're right. Di Haoyin kissed her pouting lips. At this moment, Tang Bao's phone rang in her briefcase. She quickly wanted to get off Di Haoyin's body. However, Di Haoyin's hand held her waist, making her unable to move. My phone is ringing. Let me pick it up. It's private time now. You're not allowed to pick up. I'm just picking up a call. Be good. Tang Bao said and kissed Di Haoyin's thin lips hard. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.